to get on the Streamlabs.
Good job I did my resub today, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even though it'd be quite funny here seeing Pikachu going, oh yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to have to take it normally, aren't I reckon? Yeah, because it's not doing it.
Twitch camera shop, I'll go live if you want.
No, I've got it. I'm just going to have to take it from YouTube. Normally you can interact and do it that way, but it isn't doing that properly, so...
Yeah, I don't think PSN's fully operational yet.
No, this is on my Streamlabs. Because I've just gone on YouTube and it's there. Normally you press interact on Streamlabs and can interact with the YouTube bit on there. I've had to just copy and paste my thingy. Interact. Now we'll make that full screen. And then we're going to go live.
Oh, that's sunny, guys.
5, 4... Welcome then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport here for the pro action this evening. It is Silverstone and it is wet. I'm your host, Matthew Duffin. Joining me in the box, as always, is my co-commentator at PN Motorsport. PN, very good evening to yourself. How are you?
Good evening, Matt. Yeah, I'm surviving, as we all are. Glad we got our race out of the way last night.
It was a bit of a tricky one in Pro-Am last night. It was damp, greasy conditions that made it for difficult driving. The wettest it was actually in that qualifying session, but the wettest it is so far is in this practice session for these pro guys. So a very, very tricky session at the moment for these guys to get used to, and less drivers on the grid than normal. A lot of drivers cannot make this week of Silverstone. We are expecting 1 or 2 more to turn up. Gary Leach, I think, is one of them to get into the lobby, but a lot of drivers seem to be struggling and a little off the pace here tonight.
Yeah, well, and we got a new driver tonight. If it was a new reserve with Sully 88, who's on Xbox as well, and yeah, only 17 drivers so far. I think only 19 confirmed from the
I do believe it was 18 full time, and then the one reserve of Sully who confirmed. In the end, the 3 hadn't confirmed. They'll be coming from the back of the grid. But we're at Silverstone. We're at a tricky, wet Silverstone. And as we saw last night, it was getting horrendous out there. And the interesting thing to notice here, PN, look, is the track is damp as we're on board with Andrew Taylor. But in 10 minutes' time, that rain's going to come back to light rain. So just as the track's conditions are starting to improve, you know, it's going to get wetter again.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, really, isn't it? So I've just watched Alex cut out one part of Beckett's. Don't want to do that in a race.
So then, as we go into Silverstone, let's talk ourselves through the current championship standings and stipulations for tonight. Everybody can still mathematically win this championship. It is Mike Matthews, who's currently in the pits, probably making some damp changes, who leads the way, 11 points clear of his teammate, who is currently quicker than PN, in second place. Joe, back after his operation. Great to see Joe back in the seat so early on since his operation. So it's nice to have Joe here. He is 59 points behind. Overtaker is P4. He's not here tonight, so he has the chance of dropping down even further behind Gary Leach, who is not yet here. And then we turn our attention to Alex Powell, who is currently sat in P... Just noticed something that we hadn't posted. So I'm just going to have to post now.
The qualifying bands?
Yep. And there is only 2.
Only 2 this week?
Yeah.
Oh, and Globewright has just joined the session. He, I believe, is
one of them on the qualifying ban, yes. He is one of them on the qualifying band. Sorry, so I've just noticed that and had to post that one. Then it's Alex Powell, who's currently P6. Guy Schundelmeyer, who is so far not doing so well in this session. He then runs P7 with Jay Clouden. He's not having a bad time of it at the moment. I can't actually see Clouden out on 13th. The circuit. Is he 13th? 12th. He is 13th. Thank you very much. So he is P8 out there. Nash, who we lost from the series, is P9. Remy Fernie is just behind him. And where is he? He's currently 7th place at the moment. A lot of drivers still in the pits. Luke, he is P11. And going well so far as Gary Leach is now in as well. Al Damon, there he is in his Aston Martin. Graham is P12, and he's currently fifth place overall on the standings at the moment. Then it's Paolo, who's 13th in the championship. He's actually down in 17th place, a bit off the pace at the moment. Then it is Simon Blair, who's up there on the timing screens tonight, so good for Simon Blair. Then it is Sheary in 11th place on the night, 17th place in the standings. Darren Yeo is 18th, he's not here tonight. Neither is De Hoffner in 19th place. And it is S2M Borough Bex in P20. Losser, P21, not here. Andrew Taylor is in P22, he's 14th on the night. Then it is Coutiers, not here. DeFizz, not here. Dennis Newman, not here. Graham Sutcliffe, not here. Then it is Jay Ward, who will be on a qualifying ban. He is not. He will be 27th, currently 12th fastest out there at the moment. P. Williams, I believe, is here. Yeah, he's 50th place overall at the moment. He sits 28th. Then it's Tarkowski, 29th. Dan Brave, Borchet, Globe Writer, just got himself into the lobby. He is currently 32nd. Shaggy, Tech Leader, Costa, Mr. Marshall. And then, as we said, brand new driver in the black McLaren. It is Sully, 88, who looks to be setting the timing screens. Paul Graham's lap time, just saying, looks to be setting the timing screens alight already, Pien. So a debutant come to upset the championship party straight away.
It is, and that bloke just said in chat he's also from FBR.
Yep.
So
good that I missed the race last night. Good luck to the pros tonight. Nice to see another driver for Team FBR. Stable Sully out there. So there we go. Sully is an FBR member. So great to have Sully here. Micro J as well. Evening. I can't wait to see the weather for the races. We're not going to say too much, but me and Mike looked at the weather earlier. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. We looked at the weather earlier. Wetter, I'm not saying whether it's wetter or drier. All I'm saying is we looked at the weather earlier. So the grid order has been set, as we know. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic night's worth of racing. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen through this. Did we just lose a driver? No, I don't think we did. So currently Simon Blair just coming back out on track. Mike Matthews still stationary in the pits. Dan Davis back out on the circuit. As the track is still damp, PN, Silverstone can be a very difficult circuit for a track that a lot of drivers will know like the back of their hands. We see it in GTs, we see it in F1, we see it in the British Touring Cars, we see it in a lot of races around the, MotoGP, things like that. Especially if you're a British fan, you'll know this circuit very well. What do these drivers have to do tonight? Because we've gone from Alton Park, bumpy, tight, tricky, to Silverstone, that is very, common knowledge.
Yeah, it was a grade 1 listed class circuit for the FIA as well, because it holds Formula 1. Yeah, it's different. The surface is probably more grippier than Alton Park, so good job we didn't have rain last week, because then that would have been really fun.
Yeah. Good evening to Clarbel in the chat. One thing I forgot to do was mention the Constructors' Championship. Just to let you know as well, there is 565 Drivers' Championship points still on offer. There is 1,065 Constructors' Championship points on offer, and it is SimPlay Racing. We're 225 points clear of that of BTC Jaeger. Haggis Munchers are third on 402 with Team FBR on 348. Ottinger All-Stars P5 with Red Rum Racing P6. Button Basher Racing, the second of the independents, is P7. Effect Motorsport P8 with Greasy Bandit P9, independent driver. JB Racing independent, as we know that was Nash. He has pulled away his P10. Stage 2 Motorsport P11. BDM P12, independent drivers. 2 Old Ams, and then I've done it again. Audi Sport Racing Team. And here we go, PN. Just as the track goes damp and people may start to think of a bit of slicks, it's raining again.
Oh, it's typical British weather, isn't it?
It is indeed. Good evening to Jamie Brazier as well in the chat. But this is something we didn't have in practice last night. It was greasy in practice. It became dry quite quickly because of the amount of cars on circuit. So this is a different challenge for these guys.
It is. Well, about 4 cars less than last night as well. And there's no big boatlies to drive a circuit. I think the biggest cars pretty much are the Astons.
BMWs, I'd have said.
Maybe the Astons as well. Oh, and I'm already missing the V12.
Yeah, the noise of that.
I'm missing.
It's incredible.
Hearing that down the Hangar Straight and the Wellington
We'll get
Straight.
To hear it. Hopefully, we get to hear it next week for Monza. That should be an absolute cracker to hear that through there.
Oh, flat out from Parabolica
into
the first chicane.
You know.
Of course I am.
Right, Dan Davis crosses the line. Nope, that's the Sir Lewis Hamilton start straight there.
Well, it is the line, but if we were in the F1.
Yeah. Wrong line. Evening to Nikita in the chat. Hope everybody is doing well. As we are here, there is 9 minutes left to practice. Long circuit as well, PN. 2:04.9. So that says, I reckon, the track started to get drier. Graham's pumped in a really good time. Joe's got himself up there. Great to see Joe back after his operation.
Well, with a bad recovery, really. And he's back in the seat already. I think during the week between, he's been saying he's bored, and he's bought Ark Survival Ascendant, so he's been playing that a bit as well, taking his mind off things.
Yes, great to see Joe back. Good to see that the operation went well and he's recovering nicely to be able to race. As Dan exits Luffield now, then he comes down the start straight through Woodcote. He'll go flat out through there, all over the curb. Is he going to improve on his lap time? He does. He goes within 6/10 of Graham. So Graham at the minute setting that pace out there. Car 80 is the one coming to the back of the lap. That is Siri then. Yeah, really, I have to say that good lap time from Graham. He's putting himself in a good position.
He is, and, well, one of the highest Xbox users, because he's on the...
that might be a
X.
thing next year. You know, as we brought in the manufacturers...
Oh, what?
You know, like Formula 1 used to have
PlayStation
Bridgestone versus Michelin? Not a PlayStation Cup, like the Console Cup or something like that. We could
Console
call it
Cup.
Xbox versus PlayStation. Eh? That'd be fantastic.
Well, there's enough of that with the console wars on social media.
Yeah, we just add to it. We just add to it. Just add to it. This could include others. If you like the idea of that, let us know what you think in the Discord or in the chat. Console Cup for next season. You remember like the Formula 1 days? You had the Bridgestone. Oh, there you go, Siri. Watch that. Someone's coming out the pit lane. You remember how you had the Bridgestone tyres and then the Michelin tyres, and you know they'd fight for points, and Bridgestone would always win because there was only six cars on Michelin's, or no, sorry, Michelin would always win because there were only 6 cars on Bridgestone, unless of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
They used to count them as points, though, didn't they? They used to count them as points. So yeah, why not? Why not a Console Cup?
Instead of a console war, it's a tyre war, because we're all on Pirellis anyway in GT racing.
We can have it for stats and everything. Xbox to PlayStation stats, wins, podiums, pole positions, not do race starts. Hey, for the endurance event, hey, if you could manage a 3-hour endurance race and get 1 start on PlayStation and Xbox, we know the driver swap works. Jamie, there you go. Xboxes are cheaper than PS5s. Get yourself on, you can still join us. Oh, dear me. Good evening to Hypertech. That, I believe, is Jay Ward in the background. Big slide through Aintree. And around she goes. Now, I've got a fun fact for you guys. And it involves this man here. On this straight. Season 1. The very first ever SimPlay race. Mike Matthews won it. Yes, I know. Shocked. We all was at the time. But he won it in wetter conditions than these. And he won it in conditions where he passed Little Leach. There's a blast from the past. Down the Wellington Straight in a Mercedes-Benz. Like Little Leach was going backwards, standing still, in reverse. Mike Matthews got past him. It was fantastic to watch. He doesn't improve his time there as the track's still getting damper. It is raining quite heavily. Dan returns to the pit lane then. Absolutely fantastic to see Mike. Can he replicate that kind of form tonight? Fat bloke in the chat. The age-old argument, Xbox or PlayStation, sounds like a good way to settle it. I can't think of a better way, Fat bloke, to be fair. The Console Cup. I'm all down for that, Peony, you know. I'm all down for that.
Can we can't add Nintendo with it and really set it up properly?
Yeah, hey.
Can you imagine ACC on the Switch?
Dear me. What, on your little Mario Kart steering wheels?
Oh, them wheels are quite nice though, by the way.
Hey, I've never used one, but could you just imagine driving ACC? Because let's not forget, you can plug it into your telly, and all of a sudden you're on your GT Omega, 500, 700 quid sim rig with a Mario Kart steering wheel on the Switch.
They don't have pedals either. They don't have pedals either, so you're still pressing a button on the wheel.
That is brilliant.
That's like the old 360 wheel, actually, because that didn't have pedals.
Cloudon's just moved himself up. It was wetter than an otter's pocket that day. It was wetter than an otter's pocket. You flipped it in race 2 and had no reset button. Had to retire, if I remember Jamie Brazier. There we go. And back in them days, Dean Wysocki was in the pro, in the Acura. Team with Monkey Boy. How times have changed. Because Kieran Argent as well was in the pro, actually, with Mike Matthews. How times have changed. It'd be good to see Kieran out there, to be fair. I know he's just got married. I know he's, looking to pay off the rest of the wedding and everything. It'd be nice to see Kieran back out there. It'd be nice to have Jamie back, to be fair. It'd be nice to see some of the old names come back to the front.
200 quid, Series S. Assetto corsa Competizione.
And I do believe Assetto corsa with DLCs is on sale at the moment.
I couldn't tell you at the moment.
I saw something on a
Facebook.
That I saw earlier. So I do believe it is actually on sale at the moment. Clouden, though, currently on a lap. It is Sky Schundelmeyer, who's at the back end of the circuit. 5 seconds off the pace is Sky Schundelmeyer. So, wow, really off the pace at the minute.
Yeah, wow. I'm hoping the GT2 pack's on sale then on the Xbox, because it's the only one I'm missing. Everyone outside. As I'm trying, just lost something. 1 sec.
What am I looking to do here? That's right, bring up the manufacturers tables, because they're the only ones we haven't now said. Two manufacturers can win the manufacturers tables, and that is McLaren and BMW. 127 points left in the bag at the moment, but it looks like McLaren are going to do it. Sorry, not 127. The same match drivers' points left in the bag, but McLaren 834 points clear. It looks like they are going to grab that. Could potentially grab that tonight. We'll have to wait and see who will do what. But that looks pretty much a dead cert. Yeah. McLaren look like they're on their way to win that one. Which is a shame, really, because McLaren have kind of dominated. But yeah, there's been, I think at one stage of the season, there was more BMWs than there was McLaren. So testament to the McLaren drivers, PN, who have scored the better points and been the better drivers.
Yeah, but they're now without Overtaker this week.
But they're now without Overtaker, but Sully's here. So
Sully's here, yeah.
Sully's here, so yeah. Let's have a look. Right, Dan Davis has gone P2 at the moment. Track is now back to wet. It is going to ease up over the next half an hour, but as we know, this pretty much might be the weather the next 10 minutes. It could be a heavy rain shower to start this race, PM. This could be a fruity Cops Corner. Evening to Tracy in the chat.
It might be fruitier than what we had in Pro-Am last night.
Jamie did have a reset button, he just didn't know where it was. Now, correct me if you're wrong, but I'd have pressed every button.
Oh, that's my favourite button, every button.
The every button.
You just slam your hand on the controller, don't you?
Normally, yeah.
And go, which one is it?
In sheer panic as well. In sheer panic. Like, bang, 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 bang.
It's like, what button is it? Found it.
Mike Matthews currently 1.4 off the pace, but he was in the pits for a lot of the best conditions of the circuit. I don't think that pace truly reflects where Mike is at the moment.
No, well, maybe open it for drying off a bit, or get wetter, because when it's damp, it is actually a set-up nightmare.
Such horrible conditions, Pian, isn't it? You found out last night that your tyres was ballooning as it got greasier, but as the greasiness started to dry, it wasn't dry, it was still saying it was greasy. But you found your tyres was ballooning, and that was on slicks. So it's so hard to get it right.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just the left-hand corners, and predominantly that's the tyres you're loading up on Silverstone as well.
Yeah, indeed.
And Monza's going to be worse if it's these sort of conditions again.
Shh, wasn't meant to say anything.
But Monza is also in the dark.
Oh, now the weather
no
has
heat in the track.
just changed. Mike's gone up to P6. Weather's just changed. It's meant to stay the same rain as it was a moment ago, with 40 seconds left on the timer. Everybody is pretty much in the pits, apart from Dan Davis. I don't know who he's just passed. Can't quite see behind him. That is Gary 131, who is all kinds of sideways there. Gary loves a wet race, loves a British circuit. Interested to see what Gary can do. No, he's not, but interested to see what Gary can do.
Yeah. Let's see what Gary can do. Where is he sitting at the moment? P8 in practice.
And he's barely done any laps. 227 is the other car that is out there. I believe Mike has returned to the pits. Yes, he has. As I've pressed drive, so I do apologise about that.
I think Dan's the only person on a valid lap, because Gary and the 227 are...
So this will be the end of the session, I do believe, for these drivers. And Dan bails to the pit lane. So there we go. We get our grid order. So then, the grid order as it is at the moment, you see there, it is Glow Brighter from P. Williams. I tell you a guy that could be my shout today, and that is, sorry, I'm doing the predictions. That is 1 Simon Blair from 7th and 2 Clouden from 12th.
Yeah, and you've got Graham in 9th as well.
You have got Graham in 9th. I didn't actually see that one, so fair enough there. So we are going to go for the top 4 for race 1. If you think different, let me know in the chat. But your grid order then will be Globe Writer from P. Williams, J. Ward, Andrew Taylor, and then Borough Bex on row 2. Row 3 will be Borough Bex and Sherry. Row 4, Simon Blair Paolo. Row 5 will be Graham and Luke Damon. Row 6, Rami Fernie and Jamal Clouden. Row 7, Sky Shundlemeyer and Alex Powell. Row 8, Gary Leach and Joe. Row 9, Dan Davis and Mike Matthews. And row 10 on his own is Sully. New joiner, so starts at the back of the grid for the first race of the season. Or his first race of the season, should we say. PN, tip for the race win.
10 seconds.
I'm going to go with, and put the evil commentator's curse on. I'm going to go with Graham.
Oh, Globe Road Writer's not readied up.
Oh, so that's a pit lane start.
Pit lane start and a quali ban in race 2.
But then again, though, he might avoid the chaos into cops.
Well, hey, let's see.
And maggots and beckets and chapel.
Let's see what will happen. So Paul Williams will now take us away in his lovely looking Lamborghini livery. J Ward just behind him. A lot of black liveries this season, I've noticed. Not a lot of colour.
Not a lot of colour, and then matte black as well.
Yeah. I mean, but I
need some nice.
I don't mind the matte colours. I don't
like matte colour. They look wrong on a car. But see, nice glossy black or chrome black with some green on it, and a big green M. There we go.
No, I have to disagree there. Absolutely disgusting. Let's go. Clouden says Hypertech in the chat. Obviously part of the Greasy Bandits team is Clouden. So who are you going with for the win again, Pian?
Graham. Well, who's moved up a position now with Glowpoint missing the start.
So does Simon Blair, and so does Clouden. Yeah, going to be an interesting one as they all filter through Sector 1 then.
And rain's going to get worse at 10 minutes.
Yes.
Roughly.
Oh,
and it's damp again.
It's damp now, so you've got to be on the wets for me. You've got to be on the wet tyre. Greasy, you can get away with it. Damp, you cannot.
Damp, you can't. Well, as we found out last night when it moved here to damp, and then race engineers blows on the last lap, didn't he? Wet tyres optimum. Yes, it's the last lap. I'm not going to pit now.
I do apologise. I've got to kind of have a moment. Wales are 2-0 up against Finland. That is the biggest result of the night, because then we can play and hopefully qualify for the Euros. So,
international football.
But you know, Wales. Big debate on the football though at the moment. I'm not going to get into it on stream, but big debate over the New England kit and to do with the St George's cross on the back of the shirt. I won't go into detail, but Again, England fans not happy. Well, it's less to do with football, more to do with the flag. Nico Williams from a free kick, says Micro Jays. Micro Jays is giving me the football updates, so if you see that in the chat, feel free to ignore. That is from me. We're beating Finland. Come on. Jay, also, if Poland... Finland, yeah. You had a player from Norwich playing for them. You don't play for Norwich anymore. Tell me the Estonia, I think Poland score as well, Joe. That's the other game to keep our eyes on. So we play the winner of that, and then if we win, qualify for the Euros, where we will win the whole thing and beat England. Yes. But it's not enough about the football. We are all here for the racing, and do exactly what Tracy says. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified. She is exactly right.
Hypertech has it right. Yeah.
Happy Tech. He was called Hypertaker last week. Now you've called him Happy Tech.
He is happy because he doesn't like football.
When will we get his name right? We'll just call him John from now on. Right, they come up towards Luffield. They've all been pushed forward. One little grid spot, as you can see. J Ward is alongside P Williams here. They will be side by side going into Copse Corner. Glowbrighter will start from the pit lane. Will
no,
they?
it might be a... No, it'll be a gap beside...
There is a gap. Apologies there. So he must have just been further forward. So yeah, no, there will be a gap. So they've... Ignore everything I've just said. There will be that gap at P1.
Where,
Which kind of gives... That kind of gives Jay Ward a bit of a... You know, able to get a better launch.
It does, yeah. It's got free rein there.
Yeah.
Let's see if...
Well,
as he should go green now.
green lights, a drive-through for P. Williams, so the bullsitter has got a drive-through penalty already as we head into Cop's corner. They all are filtering through. The Mustnuts has been tapped, and he's been tapped by his teammate Graham's round. Mike Matthews was caught up in all that, and already there is carnage at turn 1. And I believe it was the Haggis Muncher team who have made contact with each other. And Dan Davis as well was caught up in all this. His championship rival, he's around a Maggott and Beckett. Mike is backwards and has to get it back going as Dan will come through. There is Cloud and take it to the escape road. And the Haggis Munchers make drama at turn 1. Williams got a drive-through penalty and Jay Ward already leads this race by a comfortable 1.1 seconds.
Ferrari in the lead, Ferrari second. Yeah.
No,
Lamborghini second.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Italian.
Let it update. Lamborghini second, but it's got a drive-through penalty. Andrew Taylor, then it is Borough Bex, who's currently in that P4 position. Then it is Sherry, as Andrew Taylor's tucking up underneath P. Williams here at Vale. Sorry, Club, can't get that done.
Sully's got a cracking start. He's behind Paolo.
Right up to P8 already behind Paolo. You're seeing some of these battles crack on here. Then you've got Alex Powell who's lost out. In fact, Sully's just got ahead of Luke Damon. So Sully actually got ahead of Luke at some part in that lap. Now Alex Powell's having a look at Luke. To the outside, to the inside. Up then at... can't remember that corner name, but then we come to the loop.
I can't.
Into the loop or the link, what people call it. I think it might be Village. And now he gets the undercut as they come towards Aintree. And Alex Powell can't do anything there. Then it's Gary, then it's Joe. Sky Shundelmeyer side by side with Dan Davis through Aintree. Great bit of racing that. Dan Davis and Sky Shundelmeyer side by side here. Good evening to Fury's mum in the chat. And they come down in towards Brooklands for the first time. Fury's looking for a sending up the inside of Gary. Oh, nearly makes contact with the rear wing of Gary Leach here. Sherry's all over the grass. A bit of bump in there between Alex Powell. And the question is, did P. Williams come in for his drive-through? The answer is yes. Jay Ward's already up the road from Andrew Taylor, from Borough Bex, who then has got Sully right up the rear wing of Borough Bex. He's done the fastest lap of the race. Here he comes into turn 1. No, doesn't get it done there. Then it is Luke Damon having a look on Sherry. I believe he got the job done, so they've changed positions. No, they've changed back actually. Sherry's still ahead of Luke Damon. And Sully has got Borough Bex done. No, he hasn't. Borough Bex across the grass. Manny just hold it together. He's a bit sideways. He's round. He's round. And now the field come through. Gary having a great side-by-side fight here with Joe.
Couple of old legends of SimPlay fighting together.
Yeah, the veterans. Well, Gary Leach, one of the veterans of SimPlay Motorsport. And he's absolutely flying at the moment. Looks like he's got a bit of rear end damage, does Gary. Joe might find that easy to go up the inside at Stowe Corner. Gary's got to defend it, but he can't. Can he keep a nose there? Down Vale in towards Club. Joe closes that one off and gets that move completed. Dan Davis now on the back of Paolo. And where's Mike Matthews trying to get on the back of this? Dan Davis hit the curb hard though, coming through Vale. And I don't think that's going to affect him too much. Sky Shundelmeyer all over the back of him. But Sully now, side by side with Andrew Taylor as they come in towards Abbey. PNE is absolutely flying in his first race.
He is flying. Well, there's no paint really on the car. It could be bare carbon fibre. I like that look. A race car that's just nothing but carbon fibre.
Disgusting.
No, but that's most of Formula 1 these days.
Fury around the outside of Alex Powell at Village. Is he going to set himself up then for the link? Has to brake early because Luke was there. Alex Powell tries to keep it there. Joe will have a slower exit because you want to be on the outside. And yeah, Alex Powell gets away well. Gary's now right on the rear wing of Joe. Pit window has opened. And what has happened here? Paolo has lost out to Dan Davis and he's now losing out to Sky Shundelmeyer. He's got Mike Matthews coming with him, and Mike fancies a double move up the inside of the pair of them at Brooklands. Thank you, mama, for the carrots, PN. What a manoeuvre from the championship leader.
He wants that championship, doesn't he? He really, really wants it. And with no taker here, get the points.
Get the points. Gary in and Mike Matthews in, so he does that double move and comes in. It is Jay Ward from Sully Then it is Andrew Taylor. Sheary takes the fastest lap. Luke Damon, Alex Powell, Joe, Dan Davis, Guy Schundelmeyer, Paolo being attacked by Clouden, Gary, Mike, Ramey Fernie in the pits, Simon Blair in the pits. Borough Betts carries on his way, as does Glowbrighter and P2 Williams. What will he do? Finland have scored. It's Timu Pukki. Shouldn't be commentating on that one, but P. Williams stays out. And yeah, already great battles happening. We've got two Aston Martins fending off the German BMW.
And Gary's done his stop already. He hasn't repaired his damage, and he's away.
Fair enough. Clearly feels like getting into some clean air. Alex looking on the back of Luke. Fury looking on the back of the pair of them. Just misses the apex a little bit. Fury. Graham's released before Simon Blair as well. So Graham will jump Simon Blair. Not the start to his race that he'd have wanted. And already 4 minutes into this race. 14 minutes left of this race. A great fight happening out front. Sheary's now being dragged into this fight, as is Andrew Taylor. Andrew Taylor at the minute doing so well to stay on this podium spot. And look at Sully. He's already attacking Jay Ward for the race lead.
Yep. And in the pit stops, Mike jumped Gary.
So did Gary repair a little bit of damage then? Because Mike was quite the way behind Gary. So did Gary repair a bit of damage? As Sully now on the back of the race leader. Andrew Taylor, Sheary, then Luke Damon, then it is Alex Powell, then it is Joe. All very close. Dan Davis is pretty much on the rear wing of Joe now. He fancies a bit of this. Where is Clouden? He's going around the outside of Sky Schundelmeyer. Not sure what's happened here. Sky looks slow. The four McLarens all together. Sky now back up the inside at Aintree. That forces Clouden a little wider. They're all going to keep it ploughed through. And Sky again, look, tucks back in. Looks a little slow. Now pulls back out into Brooklands. And tucks back in once again. Doesn't fancy it.
I wish we could use...
Sully leads the race, PM.
Yeah, I saw it through the...
Oh, Monkey Boy's on the gravel on the exit of Luffield and manages to keep it together. But look at this, you've got Luke and then Sheary. It's 3 wide near enough. Now it is 3 wide with Alex Powell. Dan Davis has gone in the pits. Sheary's tapped Monkey Boy. He's off. He's bounced off the wall at Cobb's Corner. Sheary's managed to get through unscathed. Joe and Alex as well. Wow, that was a big, big hit for Monkey Boy there.
Was he embedded by a certain bull driver?
No. So the back three as well stay out on track. Sky Schundelmeyer and Dan Davis in the pits. Dan Davis is now away. Mike Matthews is at Cops, and Mike's right on the back of P. Williams already. So where will this put Mike Matthews in relation to Dan Davis? I believe Dan has come out ahead of Mike. Yes, he has. Just there he is. So Dan will have Paul Williams. Mike will need to clear Paul Williams as fast as he can to get back onto the rear wing of Dan Davis. But Sully leads 1.4 clear of Jay Ward. Then it is Luke Damon defending heavy from Alex Powell and Fury here. This is a great little scrap here.
It is it's like Pro-Am all again with nice queue of cars. A trolley train it was almost.
Yeah. Indeed it was. I'm surprised P. Williams hasn't pitted here to let Mike through, but Mike really hassling the back of him. No, he's not. Mike is through it.
Taylor's...
Oh! Not
really
sure what's happened to Ward. Apology, not sure what's happened to Ward. I think Fury's just tapped Luke Damon. Yeah, he definitely did, because he's slow. He's going to let Luke back through. Fair play to Fury there, then gives Luke the position back, but he has lost out to Alex Powell, and they've reeled in Jay Ward as well, so Alex now up to third, then it is Luke Damon, then it's Joe, Sheary, then P6, back on the rear end of this battle, then it's Cloud and Paolo, Andrew Taylor, heavily damaged car that of Andrews, then it's Borough Bex who's actually passed him, Glowbrighter's passed him, Dan Davis now gets past him, and I imagine Mike Matthews will be through as well. Monkey Boy will be well off track and out the way. Sully though stays out. Jay Warden stays out. Jay Ward, sorry, comes in. Powell stays out. Luke Damon stays out. Joe's in the pit. Siri stays out. What will Clouden do? He stays out. Paolo stays out. Borough Bex lost it on his own at Brooklands. Oh, don't hit the wall. He hits the wall.
Taylor need to be careful because we've had a case of like where you've been on the grass through the loop and everywhere. It's put you a lap behind because it classes you a lap down. Dan
Davis, P11. Mike Matthews gets past. Andrew Taylor's still there. So where is Borough Bex?
Goes in.
He's on the outside of Gary. I think he's going to try and come into the pits. Is he now? No, stays out. Keeps it going. Does Borough Bex? And I imagine Andrew Taylor's going to peel straight in. Yes, he does.
Joe's jumped Ward.
Yeah,
in the pit stops.
Good pit stop that. And Sully on his debut. What a display this is.
Is he going to win his debut race here at SimPlay Motorsport?
Could you imagine?
We haven't had that since season 1. Really? Yeah, it would be first ever season. And it was Project Cars 2 before me.
No, I think we've had a debut winner before. I think Overtaker won his debut race. I think others have won their debut race. I can't remember who, but I think others have won debut races. I don't think he'll be the first one. I think he'll be the latest, but not the first. Now, Joe, did he come out behind Dan and Mike? He did. So Joey was ahead of Dan and Mike in that train of cars. Going that extra couple of laps, PN, has cost him massively. And the rain is getting worse.
Yep. British day. British weather.
The thing is, though, it's not changing to wet as much, is it? Because with all 19 cars out on the circuit, it's not making the track wetter as fast, is it?
No, but I imagine Taylor's going to be in the pits for a while.
Yeah. I'm going to have it to guess that you're right. Looking at the leader, though, the leader stays out on track once again. And then it's Alex Powell. It's the two matte black cars, 1 and 2, not teammates, independent drivers. Luke Damon, he's going to now up to pit. What about Sherry? He stays out on his merry way. We drop back to Clouden now. Monkey Boy said R in the chat. He's either annoyed or he's a pirate. Paolo stays out. Globe Writer, who had the pit lane start as well. He's worked his way up to 7th. So a nice steady race plodding along for Globe.
Yep. Taylor's got another 30 seconds in his pit stop and one of them Twitch chatbot things in his chat which he needs to ban.
Globe Writer stays out. Dan Davis being caught by Mike Matthews a little bit. Joe then is behind him. Evening to Peaceful Stepdad. P. Williams stays out. Gary Leach behind him. Then it is Jay Ward. Graham with Ramey Fernie on the back of him. Graham not had the much pace as he saw in practice and may have not repaired his damage in this one. Borough Bex, did he pit? He does. He's coming in now. An evening. Tobias Hoffer in the chat. Let's go, Luke Damon. Your teammate is proud. So there we go. Oh, there you go.
Where are you?
I imagine that is...
Where's the V12? Where's the V12?
Andrew Taylor is out of the pits. Closest battle on track. This between Gary Leach and P. Williams. And I believe that is Luke Damon, who has just come out of the pits as well, looking all over the back of the pole sitter in race 1. He's now side by side with the Lamborghini and the Aston Martin V8.
It's no V12 though, is it?
And Mike's just lost out 4 tenths. Williams actually lets Luke go there, and Gary thinks, well, I'm going to have a bit of this action around the outside.
Yep,
And gets him done, yeah. So that's a good move there from Gary Leach and Ramey Fernie on the back of Graham.
Where is Smokey Devil? There he is. Is McLaren still looking rather beaten
I
up?
believe turn 1 was caused by Smokey and Ramey. They're the same people, by Ramey and Simon Blay, you know.
They are the same people this time. It's not like the conspiracy theories of
Now, Jay Ward, who was your race leader, is 13th place and is being attacked by Graham and by Ramey. So all of a sudden, Jay Ward is under some immense pressure.
He is.
And all of a sudden, Mike Matthews is within half a second of Dan Davis. So what has happened to Dan here then? Because that was 1.8 at Sector 1. It's now half a second. Sherry and Alex Power in the pits.
I'm thinking Ward's on slicks.
Yeah, he looks slow.
I think he's on slicks.
Alex is away. Oh, this will be interesting. Sherry's yet to stop. Where's Dan Davis? Alex is going to stay ahead here. Out he comes. Dan Davis breaks into cops. Mike Matthews breaks into the cops. No, he's not. Dan gets him. And will Mike... Oh, Dan! Oh. Deary me. Globe Writer's in.
That was
close. That was close. Dan Davis now trying to attack that of Alex Pow. And he'll put a car between himself and Mike. Back down to the Graham J. Ward battle.
Tell you what, someone who's had a quiet race and his car's still pretty clean. Paolo, again.
Yeah, again he goes under the radar a bit, does Paolo. Where's he sitting? He's got the P3 yet to pit. Simon Blair is in the pits. Car 69. Oh, that's a second pit stop for Simon. That looks fine to me. So he's had a fuel issue.
Fuel issue or tyre issue. Have they
It
put slicks on?
looks slow in. Right, Sully has got to pit within the next 2 laps. He's got to pit now or the next lap. As is Clouden, Paolo and P. Williams. We'll go back to that Dan Davis, Alex Powell fight in a moment. And Sully
there's a
pits.
car off. I think
Dan Davis has actually lost time. Ward is off, yeah. So Ward is off. And hopefully we'll rejoin. Dan has lost time to Alex Powell and has actually been caught by Mike a little bit.
Look at that rain now. It is absolutely coming down.
It is coming down. Ward is stationary. He's going again now.
He is going again now. And
what's this in the background? This is Gary and Sherry and Luke Damon. And that's Gary getting passed by Luke Damon and Sherry. Sully's in. Yep, we knew Sully was in. Paolo is also in.
Sully's done.
Yeah, he's well in front of Alex Powell before the pit stop, so he's going to be leading this race. Simon Blair is also out the pits. Sully gone.
Clouden.
Where is Alex? Just coming through Cops. With Dan, with Mike. And all of a sudden Luke David and Sherry both get past Gary Leach. And Gary Leach loses out a couple more places. There then.
Paolo stops done. Just leaving Clouden the last person to pit.
Yeah, because P. Williams has just came into the box. So Gary not having the pace.
I've been yelling at him if they're in the same
Dan
party.
Just making too many little mistakes because he catches Alex and then Mike catches him. So he's just having a few moments. It could be. Luke Damon's got Sherry and Gary still for close company. So a couple of battles happening here. We'll stick with this one at the moment. This looks the closest one. Sherry to Gary. Looks an absolute juicy fight.
Well, you've got Luke there as well. Very juicy. A lot less cars though. Yeah, the track's definitely officially moved to wet.
Yeah, it's now gone to wet. So it has took its time with this heavy rain, but has now gone to the wet weather. So, yeah, wet tyres. So obviously, the wetter it gets, the more this is going to play into those guys on the wet tyres. And for those guys who might have overinflated tyres, let's not forget, due to it not being fully wet, the wetter it gets, the more that's going to help their tyres come down.
But how much graining have they caused to their tyres?
Well,
because that's very much a thing in this game.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? This is the point. Clouden has to pit this lap. Otherwise, that'll be a huge 130-second time penalty.
Yep.
I'll tell you a man who's had a quiet night, but not a very good night at the minute, is Tibbs Schundelmeyer. He's not had the pace tonight at the moment, which is a shame because at Alton Park he looked like he had great pace. Now Dan has dropped Mike, and Mike has been caught by Joe. And Sherry's got Gary Leach on the back of him. So let's go back to this fight. So Sully takes the race lead back from Clouden now.
Pit window is now closed.
Pit window is closed. So Clouden in it, exactly the right time. Rain is going to ease up in the next 10 minutes. That's not going to matter. We've only got 2 laps left of this race. The one the leader's just started, and the one after that, which will be the final one. Depending on if he wanted to slow down a little bit, because he's got that big a gap. He could arguably slow down a little bit, PN, and finish the race.
Yeah, he could. But I don't think he's bothered.
No, I don't think he's going to either.
Because sometimes when you relax, that's when you make more mistakes.
Paolo.
Because you relax.
Sorry, PM. Paolo's been passed by Graham. So that move was done. Clouden's just come out in front of these two. So Clouden is P9. That puts Gary up another place. So Gary moves into P8 with Siri P7. And Joe's now just starting to get within that second of Mike. So did Mike make a mistake somewhere that has cost him the chance to get ahead of Dan? Joe just giving him a flash there out of Stowe.
Cheeky little flash.
Gary's within half a second. That looks a bit closer than half a second. Is Gary going to think of braking later and getting the job done? No. Doesn't look to do that. Looks to stop, get it turned in, set him up. Gary Leach, 2-time pro champion here, back on Project Cars 2. Knows how to win a race, knows how to drive in the wet, and knows how to drive on a British circuit. That was very wide from Siri. That'll probably be a track limit warning. And already, Gary just not being able to capitalise. Is that Gary's damaged? Sherry bounces off the curb though. Now a door opens. Gary to the outside. Does he think of getting the cutback? Sherry goes deep once again. And Gary through. There's contact.
Oh, and the track's just gone back to damp.
That could be because the rain has eased up slightly on the forecast. And Siri there lost out a lot of places. Even Sky Schundelmeyer got past. Glowbrighter did not. So Sherry drops to 13th place. Joe now within 8/10 of Mike Matthews. Dan had loved Joe to get in between him and his Mike Matthews and his teammate, his former teammate, to help him out against his current teammate. Sure, Dan would enjoy that just for the extra points in this Drivers' Championship as they come through Copse Corner for the final time. Sully's 5.7 seconds clear. So Alex has caught Sully a little bit, but this Sully just took his foot off a little bit just to be that bit safer.
Possibly, you never know, because it'd be nice if every driver streamed and you have a wall of monitors with everyone's stream up to see what they're doing. But
this is where we need Micro J's in here with his multiple streams. And Jay, pit report.
Yeah, pit reporter Jay.
Oh, he's got a more important job to do tonight, and he's on it. Joe has actually just dropped out that second mark to Mike Matthews. And what a debut this is for Sully. Comes in,
it is, yeah.
Race win, and fastest lap at the moment.
Well, the fastest lap might not get beaten now, this phase of the race. If they haven't changed tyres, the tyres are probably grained a little bit with the drying out earlier before it got wetter. Which means there's less rubber on the circuit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alex isn't a million miles away though, because you can see him in some of the wider shots.
He's 5.6, but this to me then is this more? Sully's took the foot off the gas a little bit, or what?
I reckon no. Cap's gone up to 6 seconds. So
no, he hasn't. He just maybe made a little bit of a mistake, or Alex pulled him in a little bit.
Oh, Alex is stuck behind Simon Blair.
Possibly that one. But here he comes then. He rounds Luffield and is going to win his first ever race at SimPlay Motorsport. It is Sully 88 who will take the race win. A fantastic drive from the debutant. Alex Powell will come home for second place. Another good result for him as the Mutsnuts crosses the line a lap down. Dan Davis, P3, finishes ahead of his teammate who comes home P4. Good points for Mike Fury as well in this little battle. Joe, should I say P4, P5. Luke Damon, P6. Good result for Luke. Good top 6 for him. Gary Leach will take a P7.
Clouden P8.
Yeah, another good result for Clouden.
Graham P9. Paolo P10, quietly under the radar. Then Raby Fernie, Sky Schundelmeyer, Sheary, Glowbrighter, Ward, P. Williams, Bubba Becks, Blair and Taylor.
Well, the others haven't finished yet. Sheary, 13th.
Ward final.
Globe just finishes now. 14th. Simon Blair's already finished. In 18th. Andrew Taylor finished 19th. Jay Ward 15th. Decent race for Jay Ward.
Well,
Borough Becks, we just wait to getting Graham 9th, as we know. Jay Ward 15th. Could have been higher. He was, driving
second.
well for quite a while. He was leading the race, wasn't he, at one stage?
Yeah.
Did
he put slicks on? That is the question. Because you've got to check that pit window, that pit board, have you putting the right tyres on?
Well, that's
easily
provided
done.
he's changed tyres. In the first race, you don't really change tyres, do you? So, Borough Becks comes through to take the final place in the points. And that is all we have for race 1. Right, we'll be taking a quick break, but join us for race 2 in just a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere.
Clear.
Hello.
Alright, Dan.
Yeah, not bad. You boys?
Yeah, not bad.
What the fuck happened in turn 1?
I think Mutz and Smokey hit each other.
Fucking imbeciles, man.
2 teammates, I think, hit each other.
I was carrying 8 seconds worth of damage for that race.
Did you keep making a few little mistakes? Because Mike kept catching you at one point.
No, I just didn't have any front grip.
Ah, right.
Because of the damage and my pressures were so high, Yeah, I just had no grip. I had nothing.
Fair
Just
enough.
understeer everywhere.
Green light, go, go, go.
These conditions are horrible. I want it dry.
Man. Well, it went to wet for like 5 minutes, and then it went back to damp again.
What, in the race?
Yeah. So it went. So like you'd got like 9 minutes left, and it went to wet. Stayed there for like 5-6 minutes, and then it went back to damp because the rain had gone lighter again. So yeah, tricky. Yes, 3-1. Come on. Oh, don't play the fucking commentary, you dickhead. Poland have just gone 2-0 up against Estonia. They're down to 10 men. That's fine.
I'll take a P3.
Yeah, good result. You pulled back to 7, so you pulled back 4 points on Mike.
Yeah, it's not enough though.
Hey, fucking hell, mate. If he misses last week, it's...
Yeah, but I shouldn't be behind him. I should be in front of him.
Yeah, fair one.
Yeah, I followed Gary into turn 1. Wherever he went, I went, and we just ended up hitting Smokey. He was either repair 8 seconds worth of damage and maybe be a bit quicker, or
just stick it out.
Yeah. And I was catching, like, in the early part, my pressures are at 33.
Yeah, I've got your stream on my phone to get my rank up, so I was kind of like looking at the pressures a little bit.
Yeah, 33 they were at, and they were like fucking hot, but they gripped. There was grip. It was weird. So it was like, okay, I can catch the boys in front. I can stick with them, you know, and try and give them some pressure. And as soon as I caught Fury, I was like, if any of these boys stay out, I'm going in.
He made a mistake. He waited too long.
Yeah.
And that's why you and Mike jumped him.
I saw Mike go in, and I was like, right, I'm going to react this lap and get in. Covered him off. Nailed pit entry. Jesus, I thought I was going to speed. Nailed it. Got out. And he was like, oh, I should have you here. And then I came out, and he was like, is that you down there? And I was like, yeah, I've jumped you.
Question, how close were you to back at Alex?
I got right onto the back of Fury, who they were all scrapping.
No, I mean when he left the pits.
Oh, I was right up his arsehole.
I was going to say, because from our camera angle, as you pulled into the pit lane sort of exit bit, like, we thought, oh, that's fucking close there.
I was right up his arsehole.
I thought so.
And then we went into Maggots and Beckett's, and because obviously his tyres are still, you know, trying to get back to pressure or temperature, he braked so early, and I shat myself. I was like, oh, fuck. So I nearly hit him, and for the first half of that lap, I was right on him, and then because of the damage, it just, at that point, I just couldn't stick with it. And then Mike kept touching curbs, and Fury was starting to get him. It was just like,
Further do.
I really didn't know what setup to run in that.
Yeah. He's got a few tabs open, but one has S4C. Good lad, Jay. Right, we're for a week.
He can't hear you at the moment, can he?
No, I know he can't.
If I had a camera, Jay, I'd be putting my middle finger to you.
Again, he can't hear you either. Oh, fuck's sake. You're not a real Welshman. Am I correct in that one, Dan? He's not a real Welshman?
Who's not?
Matt.
Oh, no, he's not. He's English. Purely English.
Yep. When they do isotope tests on your teeth, on his teeth, they will see he lived in the Midlands. There will be no isotope tests there from ever being in Wales.
I really don't like these damp settings, man.
Oh, the damps are worse. This is where you want intermediates. You want intermediate tyres, but they're not available.
Do you remember when they did the Turkish Grand Prix and to the point they just wore the Inters into slicks?
Yeah.
That's what I just feel like doing to the wets in this.
It's fine as long as they don't go pop into.
Mm-hmm.
That was for Gary figured out.
Gary's got phlegm speed set up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Who's on? Double check who's on. Quali bands. It should be Glowbrighter and Jay Ward.
Wait. Ah!
Scooter get pop pop.
I definitely think, Pierre, we need Jay in here as, with his multiple streams. Ted, what's happening in the pit lane?
How's he find them all?
He just goes on and he'll just look for any, because people will put like SimPlay or the league name in their like title, or he'll just look to find the track and press it, and if he recognises the names on the list.
The boy's dedicated.
Do you know what? He's brilliant to have. Do you know if you're doing a league race somewhere, he's fucking brilliant to have.
That's what we're missing in Pro-Am, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because he'll give you the gaps and everything. Motive, he'll just, for the motive race, he'll just sit there giving you the gaps. Oh, he's running six laps of fuel lighter than you. You know. Damp again. I'm looking at your stream and your tyres are yellow, orange on the back rear pretty much.
What?
I said it's damp, and I'm looking at your stream and your tyres are orange, back left inside wall, red.
Nova can shut the fuck up.
Wow, what's he said?
Sully needs ballast.
Where's he said that? Oh, general chat.
General chat.
Pro doesn't have ballast. Bye-bye now.
I swear to God, put him on the fucking same thing as me and let me kick his ass. Wales. Did you mention Bozzy Designs last night, by the way?
I did.
Okay. Do it to the end of the season, I suppose.
I just did it because, you know, it's there.
Start the poll. Yeah, Poland are 2-0 up, so that'll be us playing them. Latvia drew with Cyprus. Go on, Latvia. Football Union of Russia beat Serbia 4-0. Good on them. Feel sorry for Russian athletes. Oh, Nikita Mazepin won something the other day. in terms of his battle to get back racing, sort of like worldwide and stuff. Won the chance to appeal it or something, somewhere or other, because seen as Russian and Belarusian athletes can now do the Olympics. I agree. Look, he didn't fucking start the war, did he?
It's not his fault, is it? Like, it ain't Khabib's fault or anyone like that.
Get rid of his dad as a sponsor because he works closely with Putin. Fine, I understand that. But get rid of the driver who's done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
The only person on the band lap is Mr. Taylor. Or not, he's just finished. So we'll go qualify.
Green light, go, go, go.
I'll press drive again. Oh, he's on it. Sully's gone. He's away. Right. 5, 4. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport here for the second qualifying of the evening. What a race one it was. For this man in particular, took a debut win. Absolutely brilliant to see. We love a debut winner here at SimPlay Motorsport. And that for McLaren as well is another step in the right direction. 61 race wins. All them seasons Porsche was the drivers' champion. It is now fourth on the it's now fifth on the all-time wins list, behind now McLaren, who moves ahead of it and moves only 3 behind the Lamborghini. So good stuff to see there. It also then registered its 185th podium. Aston Martin registered that 16th podium, and Lamborghini registered its 200th podium. Not yet quite the milestone. It's 50 podiums away from 250. We have got the only driver on the podium in the box for an interview. We can't interview Xbox drivers. We will work on this in the off season, ready for the new championship. Oh, his Tibbs has had a bit of a spin. Schundelmeier there, as we've got Bourchier in for race 2. So brilliant, another driver on the grid. That is going to help things out. We do have Dan Davis here, but before we speak with Dan Davis, let's go through the championship standings. 509 drivers' championship points are left up for grabs, and it is Mike Matthews who has his lead cut short by 4 to 7. So Dan is 7 behind. Joe 63 back, he's 3rd place. Overtaker P4 not here tonight. That's allowed Gary Leach to get within 12 of him, with Alex Powell closing that gap to 3 on Gary Leach. Guy Schundelmeier 7th place, just ahead of Jamal Clouden. Luke is NP9 with Ramy Fernie 10th. So Luke climbs from 11th to 9th. Great race for him. Graham P11 just drops down just climbs up a couple of spots ahead of Nash as well. Paolo 13th place, 10 points clear of Simon Blair, with Sherry 15th. Clawball drops to 16th with Sam 17th. Darren Yo 18th. S2M Rebex gets ahead of De Hoffner. Excuse me. Andrew Taylor is up to 21st and is some points off the back of the Hoffner, but could try and close the gap tonight. Then it is Losser, Coutiers to Fizz. Jay Ward moves up to 25th with P. Williams 26th. They go ahead of Dennis Newman and Graham. Tarkowski, Denbrave, Glowbrighter. Sully moves straight into P32 with Bourchier, who is now in P33. Shaggy, Tech Leader, Costa. And the only man to yet turn up this season as a reserve driver is Mr. Marshall. Constructors, 959 constructors points left up for grabs, and it is SimPlay Racing who are 262 points clear from BTC Jaeger, who are now pretty much they're 50 points clear of the Haggis Munchers, so really is starting to get a grasp of 2nd place at the moment. Needs SimPlay to fall off the rails if they have a chance this season. Team FBR are on 372, 1 point clear of the Ottinger All-Stars. Red Run Racing P6 with Button Basher P7. Greasy Bandit P8. They're all independent teams, so good independent fight there for 6th, 7th and 8th. Stage 2 Motorsport P9. Effect Motorsport P10. With none of their drivers here tonight, they're going to take a tumble. JB Racing no longer here. P11 BDM P12 2 Old Dams, then Audi Sport Racing Team, who we earlier today called Audio Sport Racing Team.
Okay.
Dan Davis, good evening.
Hello.
That was an interesting race 1. Back of the grid start. It all happened at Cops. Once again, the pros in turn 1. It's not a match made in heaven at the moment.
No, definitely not. But you know, it is what it is. Not really much to say. Just saw Smokey. Just followed Gary, and next thing you know, he's hit Smokey, and I've got involved in the incidences as well, one way or another, and been carrying damage all through that race. So, you know, fun times. Fun times,
but a good strategy. You got onto the back of a train of cars, you pitted, and it really seemed to work for you, because as you then got the clear air after your pit stop, you was able to put some laps in.
Yeah, definitely so. I saw Fury catching a group of cars, and I know what Fury's like. He'll give him a hell of a fight, and so I thought instead of me getting involved in the fight, let's get in the pits, get the clean air while they're all busy scrapping. And it was actually to cover Mike. I saw him pit first, so I was like, I best get in, cover him off, and yeah, see what we can do. I could have jumped Alex, but I just had one too many moments. And yeah, he got me on the jump. So yeah, wasn't the best way to start things off, but yeah, just as long as I outscore Mike and stay on top of the championship, that's all that matters now.
Yeah, that is all that matters now, and it was a good start for you, like you said, and currently a good qualifying lap. How was the conditions out there, Dan? Because from our point of view, it went from damp to wet back to damp again. What was it like to drive in?
It's horrible. The damp conditions is probably the worst conditions because there is no... the rain is getting heavier, and it's going to get heavier and heavier, and we've got to get our laps in now. With these damp conditions, you can't really predict what's going to happen. The wets are getting too hot, and it's not dry enough for slicks. So you got to get your pressures really low for the wets, and then you've got to try and control the temperatures basically as much as possible. And I'm currently still trying to figure out what setup to run. I ran the wet setup now, and looking to possibly run the dry setup, and yeah, see what.
Now, obviously, this is a difficult thing because you look at that weather and you think, oh, it's dry, or it's raining heavier in the next half an hour. But with this session and the hour ending, we don't know what the start of the race is going to bring. Does that kind of leave you in suspense a little bit on what setup to run, what kind of mentality to go into turn one with? Obviously, a bit of caution if it's wet, or a bit dry possibly.
Again, it all depends when we get into the grid positions and we see what's what. I see there Sully's gone quicker.
Yeah.
Quick boy he is. Yeah, it's just getting onto the grid and seeing where we are basically, and seeing what the weather's doing. It's you've got to base it on what the radar is showing. If it's showing that it's going to get heavier, then you've got to go a wet setup. If it's showing that it's going to dry, then you've got to risk that dry setup and try and go as long as you dare. So it's not the best conditions, the damp. It's really off-putting, and I'm really just testing in qualifying to see which seems to work.
Obviously,
race is never a good thing.
No, it's never a good thing. But race 2 is somewhere you could pull some more points back on Mike. Is that your goal tonight? Obviously, like you've just said, we've got a quick driver turn up in Sully. So race win might not be on the cards, but take points off of Mike, I'm sure, is the goal. Yeah,
definitely so. I need to use these opportunities. The possibility that might not make the final race is, or he might be wounded. Is probably the best word to use for the final race. I still got to have that points advantage. I no overtaker tonight, so it's like let's try and purely focus on scoring points. It's Silverstone. It's a British circuit. Stupidly, I've gone well in the first race again. Yeah, let's just try and maximise what we can out of this and see where Mike finishes in all this. I only took 4 points off him, which is annoying. So,
well, Dan, we'll let you get back to it for race 2. Best of luck out there. Enjoy it.
Cheers, boys, and congrats to Sully on his first debut win, and fair play to Alex, and great defence through Maggots and Beckett's. Couldn't get him.
Yep, so Dan there, clearly, I suppose like everybody else, Piano, like we felt last night, just struggling in them damp, greasy conditions there, but took a podium, very happy with his work out there, and yeah, like I said, took 4 points out of the... Dan, just before you go, Tracy says hi to you in the chat.
Hello, Tracy.
Yeah, Dan clearly obviously feeling the struggles there of them damp, greasy conditions. But Pian, it's currently Sully who's taking the pole position as Jamal Clowder moves up into 10th spot. Next car on a valid lap will be that of Sky Schundelmeyer. Dan half a second from him. Again, though, we look at that weather, Pian. Rain's going to get heavier in that next 10 minutes. That was 5 minutes ago. So the heavier rain's coming. The track is still damp. I don't think it's going to go greasy before that heavier rain comes, which means like Dan says, the wets are probably the best way to go in the end of this qualifying, but the wetter this session gets, the less time people are going to improve.
Yeah, man. Well, it's mildly moist at the moment, as to coin the old Top Gear stars of a reasonably priced car. When we were in the Suzuki Liana, that shows my age. When I watched Top Gear, that was.
Sky moves into P11, pulls straight off the road. Next car on a valid lap is number 69. That will be Simon Blair, who, not sure what happened to him in race 1. Obviously, we saw the contact with his teammate at the first corner at Copse, and then pitted again, but we don't sure if it was a tyre change that had gone wrong or if it was a lack of fuel.
No, we don't, and we probably won't know until he tells us later, either if he finishes on the podium this race and joins us in the party.
Bailed from that lap. Mike Matthews now 9/10 off the pole. He's the next man on a flyer. That's not the line through Brooklands into Luffield, so I assume he's bailed on this lap and is setting himself up for the next run. 5 minutes left to go. The car behind him then is Dan Davis. We'll watch Mike cross the line, but it was a horrible line through Brooklands and Luffield that probably will not improve his time. Yep, didn't think so. Dan returns to the pit lane, so Dan clearly not on an improved lap time there. 1:88. That then is the new driver of Sully, who is the next man on a valid lap, and he's that far back. Look, he's down at just coming through Farm Curve now. That's where he's got to start from.
Yeah. Off to the funny farm. Oh wait, that's Austin General. Hey, I told a joke. Kind of. Yeah, and well, that was an interesting race 1 anyway, with the tyres, and as Dan was saying, you would have intermediates in these sort of conditions, but in GT World Challenge and British GTs, for that record, they don't have intermediate tyres.
Yeah.
They do in World Endurance, they do in IMSA.
Two different kettles of fish though, isn't it really? I know you've got the GT4 cars in the British GT and all that, but with IMSA you've obviously got the hyper cars that's putting you under pressure a lot, and IMSA that's putting you under pressure a lot. So really, coming here is just GT3s, like you see the British GT and GT World Challenge. Bit of a different sort of ask, because you are the main car on the circuit.
Yeah, and it also cuts costs, not being 3 different tyre compounds all the time.
Yeah, and this is the thing, isn't it? And this is where Dan's just said, you know, when you look at what he's doing, it's, you know, he's too hot for the wets, it's too cold for the slicks. Oh. So what does Dan do? You've got to find a middle ground. What would be the quicker tyre? In greasy conditions, the quicker tyre probably is, you know, the slick tyre. In this condition, it probably is the wet tyre, because of the fact it is that bit wetter, so therefore you are going to need that bit more grip.
In the real world, you probably have a set of really well scrubbed in wets as well, to become like intermediates with a lower profile.
And that's the thing we don't have here. We have the fact you can go back onto an old set of an old set of slick tyres, but you can't go back to an old set of wet tyres, which is frustrating, because that means then that you can't really go back to what you was. Oh, you can't put a scrub set on. Joe to the line now, 1.2 off the line, improves a bit. Gary is P4, so good lap from Gary Leach. Car 80, the next one on a valid lap time. Then, as we see car 80, that is Sherry, currently 2.8 off the pace. Andrew Taylor's done a lap. He's not come back out on the circuit. And Jay Ward and Glowbrighter have served their qualifying bans.
Sky's just returned to the pits beside Taylor.
Jay Ward was actually meant to start at the back of the grid race 1. Admin error.
That was an admin error, was it?
So Sherry to the line. Any improvement? Stays P16. Alex Powell P5. Any improvement? Goes P2. Puts more pressure on Dan, and that is very close to Sully. 6 hundredths of a second. Yeah, I'm right. 5.9.
Yeah.
For some reason my brain wouldn't work there. At 43, that is Paolo, Remy Fernie, who moves up to 7th place. So a good lap from Remy. Next car is Mike, 9/10 off the back here. Do you know the most successful drivers around this circuit, by the way?
Go on.
Fury. 2 poles, 3 wins.
Oh, can you remember our first season of ACC on PS4 where Fury launched over the curb?
That was hilarious. Into the
that was hilarious.
Side off.
Was it Biggs?
Might have been Biggs, yeah, might have been D Biggs. Oh, Mike's lost it on the curb on the Wellington Straight. Oh, that's a big hit. That's his qualifying done.
Yeah, I believe there's also been a Ferrari F1 car that's hit that wall.
Right.
Sure, Mr. Brazier will correct me, but
Probably
Kimi
will.
Raikkonen hit it.
He did. Went straight through the barrier, I do believe. Or dinted the barrier that bad. They had to replace the part of the barrier.
Yeah.
Joe's
I
bailed
believe.
on this lap. He's very slow.
Barabex is done.
So the next car will be the 227. That is Graham. Oh, what a lap from Alex. What a lap.
Cool. To be that close in the Aston.
And I didn't even put Alex on the pole. I forgot about Alex. So here comes Graham. He will go and get one more lap in. Will he improve this time around, though? He does. He pushes Dan down to 4th. Car 36 is next approaching the line. That is Clouden. He's got a heck of a lot of traffic. Sheary's returned to the pits. He's got Andrew Taylor in front of him. No, Dan's still on a lap.
No, he's not checking flag.
Oh, he has got a checkered flag. Yeah, so Dan is done.
He's definitely done now.
Andrew Taylor is done. He's on an invalid lap, so he's not going to improve on his P18. And Clouden stays where he was. Next car is 277. That is Bourchier. Great to have him back in for this second race. Does he improve on 30? It goes P9. Good lap. Next, Gary Leach. Keep calling him Gary 131.
You know he's in his PSN name again.
P. Williams. P. Williams will go from 18th place. With then Sherry P16. P16. Sorry, 17th for P. Williams. Paolo will go from 15th. We'll see if he has another quiet one. Luke Damon will go from P14 as Gary exits Luffield now. Sky Schundelmeyer will be P13. And where will his teammate be? That is the biggest one. 12th for Clouden. It's Gary Leach here then. A 227 of Graham still on a lap. And Gary Leach goes P5. Stays P5, should I say. So good qualifying that for Gary. So Clouden P12. Joe only P11. Little down the pack there for Joe. S2M Borough Bex P10. Then it is Bourchier who comes up to a good P9. Say he's only just come into this. Simon Blair will be P8. His teammate will be P7. They'll hope to not come together at Cop's Corner again. Then it'll be Mike Matthews P6. Gary Leach will be P5. Dan Davis will be P4. Then it's just a question on Graham, because I think if he was down, you'd have probably bailed. This to me means that Graham could possibly be up on his lap time. Comes to the line now. What is it going to be as he exits Woodcote? He improves, but he stays P3. So good lap there from Graham. It is Alex Powell who will start second. It is Sully who will take a debut pole position. And McLaren can win the manufacturer's trophy in this race, depending on what the BMWs do. But there's 4 BMWs at the back, and there's a lot more McLarens in the lobby and at the front.
Yeah, and there was only 2 Bentleys with defending champion in Pro-Am. From the manufacturers. So
for Sully, he's 1 point now behind Globe Writer. So already, doing the business.
Yeah. And Jamie said it was 2014. It was Kimi who was selected by Felipe Massa. There you go.
Yeah.
So it was a Ferrari in the wall there. Pre-Halo.
Right. If you like what you see here, don't forget to hit the description and check out our 3 fantastic sponsors. Audio Sport for any T4, T5 parts or bits done. Design. I really still need to find out what Kelly does. Every week I look at it and I read it, but I read it too early in the week and forget by the time Thursday comes. Design Manchester for any designs that you want doing, e.g. cups, T-shirts, hoodies, glassware, anything you can think of. Go to Design Manchester. Any picture or anything engraved, embedded, absolutely fantastic what Design Manchester do. Bozzy Designs for any graphical designs you may need. PM, race winner.
Hard to look past Solly. Really into it. He's rapid.
Yeah, but a 45-minute race.
But that Matt Black Aston beside him, that's looking menacing. It looks like Darth Vader's helmet.
And also the weather.
Damp consistently.
Because it is still I'm going to say that's normal rain, with it just being the one cloud. But it is still damp. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens here in this race. Pole going out now. So you're going Sully.
Yeah. I think I know who Tracy's gone for.
I'm going to go Graham.
Well, five different manufacturers in the top 5.
Yeah, brilliant. See, no BMW there.
No. Joe's down in 11th as BMW
Which
driver.
I'm surprised at. Surprised at that by Joe. Not the pace he'd have wanted. At all. Whew.
Yeah.
We now wait. What is round 12 of the season? We now await.
Getting towards the business end of the season now, aren't we?
It is. Exciting. Exciting. I love this time of the season. Hate the season ending, but love this stage of the season when we crown winners.
Yeah.
And you know what, as well?
Really.
I'm just going to look at the race results. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Every race this season we've had a different sprint winner. And no sprint winner has won multiple. No, sorry, tell a lie. Dan did at Alton Park.
Yeah, where he never goes well at British circuits, but always goes well at British circuits.
So imagine that. Just think of that. 6 sprint winners. No. 5 sprint winners. Because Dan's won multiple. 5 sprint winners in 6 races. That's fantastic.
It is.
That is brilliant. That is what you want to see. Sully, the man, taking over. If you like what we see, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Press the bell to be notified when we are live. And hit that big red subscribe button. If you want to get involved with any of the action, make sure you join the Discord. And check us out on SimGrid as well. 4-1 to the Wales while we're on the formation lap. And I assume we're playing Poland, because I saw they was 2-0 up, to qualify for the Euros.
Just think we nearly had to postpone. Because PSN
We did nearly have to postpone tonight, so we may not have had this Sully magic.
Well, we might have done actually the following week.
Well, you say that, but we could have had Overtaker. You know, and a few other drivers, which would have through, you know...
The cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, definitely the cat amongst the pigeons, because we know how quick Overtaker is. You know, we know he's a quick guy.
Unless it's raining.
He qualified on pole at Donington. Was leading the race comfortably at Donington until he got disqualified for not serving his drive-through. So, you know, was looking comfortable. We know he struggles in the wet more than the dry, but looked comfortable at Donington. And I'd say Donington in the wet's probably a bit more trickier than this, with it not being Grade 1.
And it's also down to being on a pad and on a wheel.
Yeah.
On a pad, you're not as smooth. And in the wet, you need to be smooth. Baker's now going 2x2. Nobody's missed the start.
No,
which
everybody's
is amazing.
here. Everybody is here. Sully backs them up. Pretty much comes to a standstill there.
To back them up, yeah.
Or was he about to get teleported? Because Alex is nowhere near him. Oh, don't be out of position.
Please don't.
Oh, don't be out of position. Jeez.
How I normally line it up is line it up with the grid boxes, as in on the grid.
Yeah. Well, through Woodcote they come. And for round 12 of the pro season, we are...
God.
Green and go here at Silverstone. And it is a good start already. Alex trying to go around the outside. No contact made between the pair of them. And it all looks relatively clean as they come through the pack. The camera pans out. We'll be able to see if there's any carnage in the background. Doesn't look that case. Every dot seems to be moving on the map still. Dan now trying to attack the back of Alex. He's already got clear of Graham. And now Gary Leach is looking on Graham.
Well,
they get squeezed off onto the runoff then. at the Maggots and Beckett's. Gary rejoins ahead of Graham. Surely will return that place coming down onto Hanger Straight. Just drops a wheel onto grass. Yes, he will. But this is going to allow Mike to have the run. As Terranova says, come on, Sully, in the chat. And the fourth goal ruled out. Unlucky. Now Gary's going to lose out to Ramey Fernie, but already down the straight. Gary loses a couple of places. It is Sully who leads the way from Alex Powell, from Dan Davis. Then it is Graham. Great fight. Gary coming back. It's Ramey Fernie here then. Up the inside. He'll have for Vale. And Mike's just in front of him. Ramey Fernie's going to try and go around the outside at Vale. Can't do it there. Lovely defending from Gary Leach. And that is job done at the moment. But it's Sully from Alex Powell, from Dan Davis, Graham, then Mike Matthews. Dan has that car between himself and his teammate that he wanted. Then it is Ramey Fernie. Then it is Gary Leach and Ramey Fernie. Joe, then Sky Shundlemeyer. It's not Sky Shundlemeyer. He's lost out to a couple of cars. And look at the chaos back here. It is a couple of cars abreast as they come through. Joe is looking racy. And Gary once again on the defensive from Ramey Fernie. Going to drop further down towards P. Williams, who's got Globewriter, and Bourchier, who's had a terrible start on the back of him. Nothing can done. Great clean opening lap though, Pierre. Everybody's still together.
Yeah, it went out clean through Maggots and Beckett's. There was a bit of contact and Bourchier was facing the wrong way. That's why he's dropped to the back. But he's already gained a position on the Globewriter.
He has, as Gary Leach now in his Porsche, looking all over the back of Mike Matthews, who started to drop Ramey Fernie. Now he looks on the back of Mike, who was a little slidey there through that of Brooklands. And Gary looking stuck underneath, can't do so. Dan Davis is trying to go with Alex Powell, and he's trying to stick with Sully. Sully already on this first lap. What an opening lap it's been. Alex just breaking that slipstream and coming back. Or was that to go onto the wet stuff, maybe? PN. Interesting little manoeuvre there from Alex.
Perhaps it was to get on a bit of a wetter part of the circuit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a driver stream up. I'm not going to say who. I've got a driver stream up. His rear left is cooking.
Cool. And it's still 12 minutes till the window opens?
12 minutes till the window opens, but if the track goes greasy, surely he's going to have to pit for a slick tyre or at least another set of wets. That can't carry on at state. S2M Burra-Bex has got Sherry right up the rear wing of him. We are going to go back to the leaders though. That's 0.2 of a second in it. Alex has got a lot closer to Sully at the moment as they come through. Dan's very wide there through that of Stowe on the exit, all over the curbs.
Ward's moved up the field quite nicely.
He has moved up the field, yeah. Come from the back of the grid, so he's had a good start. Monkey Boy as well, to be fair. He was 18th, he's now 14th on the back of Ward. Mike Matthews now getting onto the rear of Graham. And look at Dan Davis. He's now having to go to the wet stuff to find a bit of cool part of the circuit to cool them wets down a bit. Simon Blair's looking for a move. This is on Joe. And he's not going to get anything done there at Abbey.
They did make contact through Maggots and Beckett's on that one.
There we go. Sully now coming under some pressure from this of Alex Powell. And it's a good bit of racing. Dan has dropped right off the back of Dan. Look, once again, moves over, as does Graham. Mike stays where he is. And I think Graham and Dan then are looking for the wet stuff.
The track definitely looks a little bit drier than it did earlier.
Well, I think the circuit, PN, with all 20 cars out there on track at once, I think the track is drying, and we could see this change to greasy.
That's one thing you said. The best thing to dry a race circuit is just get the cars out there.
Yep.
And let them dry it.
Yep. Clouden has got Joe behind him. Joe's actually lost out Simon Blair and Clouden, and has got Sky Shundlemeyer and Luke all up his rear wing, and Shundlemeyer's being attacked by Luke. You can't overtake into Copse Corner. The overtake wasn't completed at Copse Corner. That is a shame. Sherry and Bourchier. Oh, he's still together though. He's still together. And that's gave Luke the run into Maggots Beckett's. What happened? Did he just get on the exit curb?
He got on the curb a bit and touched the white line, and the car started sliding.
I'm just looking at that one stream. The rears are on fire. Wow.
Think back to that, what season was it with De Silva? And he stayed on wets, and they were red hot apparently, and like nearly 50 PSI.
Well, this is a great battle for the lead, but we've also got a good battle for 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th at the moment. That is Clouden, Joe Damon and Sky Shundlemeyer. And I tell you what, a fantastic race. I remember Luke messaged me at the beginning of the season saying that this Aston's not going to be great for pro, you know. And he's stuck with it, and he's got some good top tens. He's now looking up the inside of Joe. And Abby, again, he doesn't force the move, he just patiently waits. He's letting Joe know that he's there.
For V8.
Oh, Joe's lost it! Oh, well held! Luke Damon may need some new undercrackers.
Can someone check his race seat?
Fury has just lost it massively now. Luke loses it on the curb. Taps out of Joe. Sky Schundelmeyer's through, as is Joe.
Oh,
Joe's now wide. Oh, and he's collected.
Oh.
Luke Damon.
There's nothing.
I just think there. Luke lost it on the curb. He tapped Joe. Joe's lost it on the curb. He's come back at Luke. Absolutely nothing either driver could have done. That is Andrew Taylor going so deep at Brooklands. He's lost a couple of spots and nearly clips the back of S2M Borough Bex, who gets through Bourchier. Where did Joe come back on after all that? Way down the order. By the way, I don't know what's happened to Alex, but he's dropped off 1.8 seconds. He's now got Dan Davis for company, and he's got Graham.
Maybe he's trying to cool his tyres.
Well, this is the bonus if you're Sully at the moment. You dictate the pace. You control that bit of pace.
Yeah.
You know, and he can keep his tyres in a good window. Let's see down this straight then. Who is actually going to move across for the wet stuff?
Alex
Dan and Mike. Alex as well. Yeah.
That's not the race line down the Hanger Straight, is it?
Well, Dan and Mike went across early and picked up the racing line at the end. And Alex went across late. Joe's in, so Joe must have bad damage. Joe is in.
Yeah. Joe is indeed in, or maybe put slicks on. What
Andrew Taylor and Bourchier going at it. Put slick. I wonder if it was a case of overheating tyres as well as and just losing it on the curb a little bit.
Because if they're ballooned, it's like, oh, Jay Ward off club.
Well, I'm glad you saw that. We saw the top of the car. Couldn't make out who it was. As Bourchier here really attacking the back of Andrew Taylor, but was very wide. Sheary's also so wide in the background. Andrew Taylor looking up the inside here. No, can't get it done. Jamie Brazy's got two other streams and they're red. Oh, Joe has had a problem with his leg. So we hope Joe is well. And that is why he's had a couple of moments there. So we hope Joe is well. But Bourchier gets the move done on Andrew Taylor.
Alex is back on.
He is. He is. Oh, I don't know if you've got the same stream open as I have. One red, one going red, front right, yellowy orange.
No, I haven't got anyone's streams open at the moment.
Right, well, there you go. Jeez, that is a bad tyre. So
I've just been informed by another pit lane reporter that there's a driver with 35.8 psi on their rear tyres, and they are like daggers in shape with the central part ballooning.
Well, the driver I'm looking at has only got 31.1 on his PSI, but it is red. It is screaming red. So it is Sully from Alex with the fastest lap, Dan Davis, Graham, Mike Matthews, Gary Leach, Ramey Fernie trying to close in on Gary. He's got his teammate Simon Blair there for comfort. Simon's had good pace tonight, just a shame about race one.
It has been a shame about race one, and wrong place, wrong time, really. Yeah, so pit report, Micro J's just sent me a screenshot and said not mention the driver's name, but their tyres are like 30, approaching 40 psi.
I wonder if he sent me the same one. He hasn't.
And also pit reporter JB Brazier in chat was saying there's a lot of tyres, rear tyres, a lot of tyres, like drivers.
But Joe has just messaged me that he cannot continue. So due to obviously his leg, there will be no points for Joe, but it will not be a qualifying ban for the week after. So that is a shame for Joe. But obviously we do understand.
He's got to do one more race he might not have done this season. Exactly.
He scored 37 points that he may not have got, you know?
Yeah. So we get that, because that's his leg playing up.
Exactly.
We all know about that one. Luckily, I use the control.
Yeah. Luke Damon under some pressure from Borough Bex as they come through Aintree now. This is looking juicy. for these two drivers.
Alex and Sully, you can cover them with a blanket.
I have just been
They're
sent
that close.
the screenshot that you have been sent. Damn.
Yeah.
Alex and
They
Sully
like
are that
daggers.
close. They are that close. Look how close they are. Pit window doesn't open as well for another 4.5 minutes. So all these drivers are pushing it.
I've got a feeling we might actually see tyre change. Because if they just pump the slicks up, they're going to go cold anyway. Just put as much PSI in them.
Well, this is it, you know.
Oh, Sully's bubble!
Sully's wide, yeah, he's wide through Chapel. This gives Alex the lead of the race. He's not going to need a second invitation. Does Dan get close enough? He's going to be closer, but he's not close enough. Mike Matthews gaining on the back of Graham as well. So this is a great battle.
No, how the cars are moving. That's overheating, hit wets. Look at him
Simon
sliding.
Blair is putting his teammates under pressure, who's had a few moments there through Stowe. So Simon Blair now is looking to attack his teammate down in towards Vale.
How some of these cars are moving around now.
Yeah.
Their tyres
Lack
are
of grip.
getting
Lack
hot.
of grip. Well, that's an interesting one, Jamie. Is
Blair's
anybody
past
on the
Fernie.
dries? That is a fair one. Blair has passed Ramey Fernie now. That'll update on the timing screens. Paul Williams is defending off Jay Ward. Globewriter and Sheary trying to gain up. Paolo's had a bit of a shocker. He'd not seen what happened to Paolo. Mike Matthews as well, all over the back now of Graham. So now with that switcheroo for the Haggis Munchers, can Simon Blair chase after Gary? Dan Davis within 4/10 of Sully. Has Sully's tyres gone? Look at them all,
Yeah.
searching for that wet stuff.
the worst part of either grass.
At this rate, yeah, even Mike Matthews behind Graham is searching for the wet stuff as well. And just honestly, it's just so fascinating to see this.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes before the window opens as well.
Yeah, this could be. Well, we was debating, wasn't we, last night? The weather was looking, start dries, maybe we're going to have to pit to put the wets on. Luckily we didn't. But tonight, there's tyres that are overheating, overinflated, and it's absolutely
If you could drive
fantastic.
around running slicks on a wet track until it comes to your conditions, like Senna, like Schumacher, like Hamilton, for example, what I can think of in F1 wise,
Yeah.
who went on to win races like that as well.
Jenson Button, Hungary. You look at his first ever
Button,
race
yeah.
win in the BAR. It was terrible conditions and won the race.
Yeah, if you can make
Oh.
the slicks still work in the wet, you get a good result. 'cause
I
they've been-
think Sully, sorry Pien to butt in, but I think Sully is massively struggling here on these tyres.
I think Alex started on slicks then because
Do you think?
he's now 2 seconds up the road. He is sliding through club a little bit then, no, so it's borderline. Or he said, to hell with it, burn these wets out,
Yeah.
put some slicks on.
You see, I'm very surprised. The rain has stayed as the same. It's going to stay the same for the next half an hour as well, which will take us to the end of the race. But with all these cars, Dan's on the grass! Whoa, how he did hit the
Whoa,
back
no,
of
no.
Sully there. He's fully around now, though. Graham is through. Mike is through. That is not going to help these tyres, in which... Oh, Gary's got past Dan as well. Simon Blair did not. But a
That is
huge
shame.
moment for Dan Davis.
Nope, Alex is looking for wet patches. Alex is on wets as well. By the look of that. The other option is I hit drive and just go onto their onboards.
It doesn't
to see
show you.
what they're on.
I don't think it shows you. It doesn't tell you what they're on. That's the problem.
It's 30 seconds till the window opens. Another lap for these two.
Mike
both
Matthews up the
Graham.
inside of Graham at Luffield. Mike had a twitch show and can't get the move completed. Cloudon's on the back of Ramey Fernie, so Ramey Fernie starting to drop off here.
Cloudon's wide out of left field.
Bourchier on the back of Luke Damon. That's 7/10. He's got Borough Becks with him.
Pit window's
Andrew
about
Taylor.
open.
It is. It's open now. Borough Becks could have dived into the pits. What about Andrew Taylor?
No.
He stays out. Williams stays out. Ward stays out. Reiter and Sheary's in.
Sheary's
If
straight in.
this changes to slicks, this could be the best strategy ever. That's quick.
That's
I think
quick.
he's done enough. Paolo's had enough. Is Paolo on the dries?
Paolo might be on dries.
Is Paolo on the dries?
And he's waiting for the track to come to him.
Well, he didn't pit. He was wide at Luffield.
Yeah.
Dan Davis has got ahead of Gary Leach. They've got Ramy Fernie coming with them as well. Gary's trying to tuck back under Dan Davis. Both these cars are so squirrely under the acceleration. Sherry's had a quick stop. That's definitely not a change of tyres for Sherry. Gary fighting Dan. It's like season 2 and 3 all over again. And the two pro champions going tooth and nail at the moment.
Mutz is with him as well.
Simon is with them and Mike's with Graham. And look at this. This is a gigantic battle. Simon Blair's now going to look up the inside of Gary. Can't get the move done at Abbey. This is fantastic stuff.
Well, do you have a very underinflated set of wets that allow them to get hotter? That's the other option. Who's brave enough to be dialing that on their wheel while they're planning a pit stop? Whilst driving around Silverstone. This is intriguing. Oh, I wish we could use the bridge corner version of Silverstone. Fantastic corner. Alex stays out.
Oh, Mike, what's happened to Mike? Because now he's on the front of Dan.
He is.
None of these pit. Gary does. Gary's in. Gary's pulled the trigger.
Graham's dropped back because he's now in front of Damon.
He has. Did Mike and Graham have a coming together then?
Yeah.
Graham's in. Graham's in. Sky stays out. Damon stays out. Bourchier stays out. Borough Bex is in. Oh, what do you do?
If we had intermediates in this game, that'd be an easy choice.
Andrew Taylor's in.
Done. Stay on the same tyres.
I can confirm Paolo is on wets.
He is on wets.
I've just found his stream, translated it. He is on wets.
Right, let's see. What do you do? Or do you change to a new but then it'll still be 30-second stop if you change the tyres. Graham did not change tyres.
No, neither did Gary, because Gary's away. Borough Bex might be, as might Andrew Taylor.
No, Borough Bex is done.
Yeah, he was in there for a while, though. He wasn't massively behind Graham.
Taylor is changing.
It is Alex Powell from Sully, from Mike Matthews, who's holding off Dan Davis and Ramy Fernie. Let's find out what tyre, or if... Interesting. Interesting.
But if that changes to greasy, that'd be like, I'm putting slicks on.
If that and I wonder if that's what some of these drivers are waiting for, PM.
Yeah, because they got another 11 minutes of the window.
Yeah.
Are they waiting to see if that changes to greasy?
Bourchier on the back of Luke David at the moment. Let's just check the leaders. So Alex stays out. Sully stays out. Mike Matthews, who's got his teammate right up the rear wing of him. Constructor's not in the bags yet. Oh, Danny's so twitchy halfway through Luffield there. They all stay out. No, Simon Blair's pulled the trigger.
That's quick. Gonna stop in time. Oh, great camera angle. I saw nothing but the
Sky Schundelmeyer have a little twitch there. Luke Damon under pressure from Bourchier. Oh, this is a fantastic fight. In fact, no, he's ahead of Bourchier. Bourchier's gone through. Luke Damon into the pits. Oh, get that slowed. Oh, he's bounced off the wall. Oh, that'll be big damage.
That would be big damage. That'll probably be a speeding penalty.
Jay Ward is in. P. Williams stays out. Globe Reiter stays out. Polo. Someone need to be the sooty. Jamie's bang on there with that comment. Someone needs to be the sooty and risk the slicks.
Or the England.
Simon Blair's done. Did Gary Leach get ahead of Simon Blair? He did, by a country mile. So, Simon was actually on the back of Gary Leach. Yeah. And in fact, Simon's been jumped by... Oh no, Paolo's not pitted.
Paolo's not pitted.
Okay then. So hang on, let's see the times through Sector 1. I think Simon might have just maybe gone the slicks
Someone needs to be Tom Ingram at Croft. And what? It was a race 3, wasn't it?
Paolo's 10 seconds behind Gary. No, alright, so he's not changed tyre. Stop-go penalty, Luke. Yep, you called it. You called it. Clouden still on the rear wing of Remy Fernie here. Track is still damp, so the 19 cars just are not able to shift this water.
Need some hypercars later. With aero. Who was that? That was before Cher going off and checking the marshals.
Did Luke Damon just return back to the pits? That will not do his stop-go. And if he doesn't come back out, that will be a retirement.
And he's had one of them before this season. Mike in the pits.
Right, so Mike is in. Dan Davis has been let free. So this will be interesting to see Gary Leach. You know, he's come out of the pits.
Yep.
Where is he? Here he is.
Sky's in the pits as well. I can see his McLaren coming down the pit lane. No, Ingram did it as well.
Mike's not yet away. He's away now.
That was quick. That was really quick.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's changing tyres. He's going to stay ahead of Gary Leach. That is for sure. Sky Schundelmeyer is also now away. Boucher is in the pits. Luke Damon now obviously in the pits, but he's got to stop again, surely.
Yeah, that won't clear his stop though.
Back to Clouden and Remy Fernie. Cracking fight this. 7 minutes 48 left of the pit window open.
Into Remy and Clouden into club. The reprofile club for when they built the wing.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
So halfway through the race from race control, you hear there. Boucher, that seems a long pit stop.
Yeah, but possibly be charging.
Well, hey, if he's took the gamble, good on him. Nothing to lose, not really in a championship fight coming into the championship late, but good on him if he's took that gamble.
It is, and Sky was twitchy coming through Stowe.
Has Tibbs put the slicks on?
It's hard to say. Right, Alex stays out. Sully is pulled the trigger. He's coming in. That's quick. That's in the wall. That's going to be a stop.
Sully's hit the wall. Oh, so that could be another one like Luke Damon. Luke Damon really needs to get back out on circuit here. He needs to get round, do his stop go, and get this race finished. Otherwise, he will not be scoring points. Clouden in. Late call, but Clouden just in. So where's Mike Matthews?
Oh, he's hit the wall.
Clouden. Oh, yeah. No. So where's Mike Matthews now then? Sully still not away. Mike is exiting Luffield. Sully is now away.
But he's out, yeah.
He's got a stop go. Yeah. There we go then. So he's got a stop go penalty.
I did say that was quick. Clouden's away, but I've got a feeling this possibly could be another one.
Has that just put Mike on the podium? No, he was already on the podium, wasn't he? Has that just put Dan on the podium?
Clouden got away with it.
So it is Alex Powell, 13.9 clear of Dan Davis. Remy Fernie currently running third. Then it's Sully with a stop go. Then it is Clouden. Mike Matthews. No, sorry, it's Mike Matthews.
Globe's in, Paolo's in.
So it's Sully, then Mike Matthews as they come through the timing screen. There he is. Then I believe it is Gary Leach. It might be Paul Williams, actually. It's P. Williams. Then it is Gary Leach. Gary Leach got jumped by Mike by a mile there. Then it is Clouden. Globewriter is in and out. So Simon Blair will be after him. Then it is Graham. Then it is Sky Schundelmeyer. Paolo is in, so it'll be Sherry. Then Borough Becks. Then Jay Ward. Globewriter had just left the pit lane, hadn't he? So yeah, he is behind Jay Ward. Boucher after Globe. Then it will be Andrew Taylor. And Luke Damon still in that pit lane. Needs to get back out on the circuit. Otherwise that will probably be... Will that be a second retirement to his name?
It is a second retirement to his name, yeah.
Let's just have a look.
I'm pretty sure it is. Alex now completed another lap. He's got a pit within the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, it is. He does have one to his name. You are correct. So well done.
As does Dan.
Sully's in.
Sully's in to do his stop go. Get it in early and get it done.
Yeah,
That's
in and
very
out.
wide through cops.
In and out. So Mike will jump him here.
Still a very strong debut, though.
Oh, great
P.
debut.
Williams.
Yeah, great debut.
P. Williams now.
P. Williams in, so this will put Gary up to P5 at the moment. He'll put Clouden up another place.
He just stopped at the line. P. Williams did.
Brilliant.
At the pit lane. Because there was no one behind him. Alex 14 seconds up the road from Dan. Both to pit.
Yeah, he's had Alex has had some strong races recently.
No, maybe got a bit more free time now without ARL running at the moment. Unless he's doing the next sort of ARL.
Yes, it's true. But Alex, we know he's a quick guy. Simon Blair, P9. Graham. Looks like he's just got past Schundelmeyer. He's currently running P10.
Stop cleared. Yeah,
although actually, will he be P10? He'll be probably up another place because of P. Williams and Sully's pit stop.
Sully's come out right behind P. Williams.
Oh.
And they're in front of Jay Ward.
Right, so Simon Blair up to 7th. Graham 8th. Sagai Schundelmeyer 9th. Then I think it's S2M Burrabex. Which it is. And then it is P. Williams, then it is Sully, then it is Jay Ward. And look at this little fight taking place here.
Yep.
Oh! Williams has just put Sully off!
Yeah. It's like he didn't even see he was there or clear. Or...
And now Sully has big damage. Glowbrighter's just behind. Sheary's back in the pits. Alex and Dan in. Alex is done. Alex has gone before Dan's even got to his pit box. Ramey Fernie in. Where's Mike Matthews? He's at Brooklands. Dan's yet to stop. Where's Gary Leach? Gary Leach could be jumping Dan here.
Has Mike pulled a blinder?
Well, let's see. Mike exits Luffield now. He's through Woodcote. Dan's in and out. Dan's not changed tyres. Dan's off his limiter. So Dan has jumped Mike Matthews at absolute country mile.
It's going to be close though between the two SimPlay racing.
No, it's not. Dan has gone. Dan has gone. He's already halfway through Maggots and Beckett's as Mike turns in.
Fernie's done. He comes out behind Clouden. Sheary's back out. Maybe he did change the slicks.
Well, worth keeping an eye on.
No, I think Gary's gone off. Gary is
Jay
off.
Ward's off. Gary has been off. Oh, Gary!
And rejoins and hits.
Oh, wow.
Fernie.
He's let Fernie go. And that's a flash here, I think, of apologies from Gary Leach here. Very uncharacteristic, that, from Gary Leach.
Indeed. Might have been distracted by his little one.
Potentially so. Potentially so. Sky Schundelmeyer trying to get on the back of Graham, but SimPlay Racing once again on for a double podium. But Alex Powell just dominated this second race.
What would happen if Sonny didn't get that stop go out close and then
well, if he didn't get the stop go, he would have been spun by Williams, would he? Yeah. Glowbrighter with Sully. Look at this. Sully, Jay Ward, Glowbrighter, and then Bourchier.
Good gaggle of cars here, isn't there?
Good gaggle of cars. And obviously Sully with huge damage.
Yeah.
15 minutes left in the race. The rain has not eased up, and it has just stayed damp.
It has just stayed damp.
Oh, Jay Ward's tapped Sully off.
The pit window is closing now.
So Sully's around again, and he's lost out to Ward, Glowbrighter, Bourchier. Paolo's even got past him. Andrew Taylor's not going to. But Sully with huge damage. You feel like that could be his day done. Now Sheary's having a look on the back of somebody, but he's a lap down. That is Gary Leach.
Meanwhile,
and all of a sudden now P. Williams has got Jay Ward and Bourchier coming at them. Oh, Williams.
So Williams
Just runs a little wide. And Bourchier underneath them both. What a move! What a move! Globe Writer's on the back of P. Williams as well, who's coming back at Jay Ward. No, he's not. Tucks back in. The question for me is, whose tyres will have the most grip at the end? You know when you see Formula 1 cars come in and change their intermediates when it's really dry and you think maybe you should have done that 2 or 3 laps ago because they're bold. Yeah. That's what half these wet tyres are going to look like at the end of today.
No. Pirelli won't learn anything from these tyres if this was reality.
No. How did the wets feel? Don't know. They turned into slicks in about 20 minutes in. Yeah, absolutely bonkers at the minute. One thing we do know is Alex Powell can look after his wets.
Yeah. He's got the time gap to look after his wets as well.
Fastest lap of the race. Good start for Luke Damon, though. It is going to be a second retirement in this race, and one more retirement to his name. Same for Dennis Newman. Will be minus 25 points.
But Dennis hasn't been here for the last 3 races.
No internet problems, apparently. So, yeah.
See, Sully's still driving around with that car.
Yeah, which is great to see.
It's not how McLaren designed it.
No, but look, he's had a stock road penalty. He's been in the wall. He's got bad damage. He's still going. Proves that you should just always go to the end and score points.
It's the old, I hate to say it, John Cena in WWE, but never give up.
Yeah. Mike Matthews has lost a second to Dan Davis.
Dan's lost a second to Alex.
Yeah. And Globe Writer trying to get on the back of P. Williams here. This is the closest fight on circuit at the moment. I do like P. Williams' white, red and yellow. I'm not normally a fan of white, black liveries. That white with the red and yellow, it's quite nice. It's quite fruity. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I prefer cars in British racing green. I wonder why.
That's like cars that aren't white or black. It's got a bit of colour to them.
British racing green.
Here comes Globe Writer, has a look, pulls back in, thinks better of it. Paolo down the straight further back. Then you saw Sully.
Oh, Alex top of the curve in Vale.
Cloudon's on the podium.
Cloudon is on
Mike's
the podium.
behind Ramy Fernie.
What happened to Mike?
Oh, now that puts huge momentum in Dan's favour for the championship.
It does, because with Dan P2...
Mike will be a man possessed till the end of this race now. Sky Schundelmeyer and Graham are going tooth and nail, side by side. No, they're not. That was just a camera angle. Is Tibbs going to look up the inside? No, he might do, you know. No, he's going to come back to the outside. Think better of it. Good defending from Graham. Good driving from both of these two. Tibbs, they're looking for the cutback underneath. Did he get the power down? He did. Not enough. Is Graham able to cut back and cover that off? Tibbs! Oh, huge moment. Catches it well. Whew. Whew. Big moment that, but Tibbs putting pressure on Graham. Oh, Graham's off. Graham's off. Tibbs will go through here. There he goes.
Yep. Graham doing Circuit Safari, as I used to call it when every time I used to go off.
Mike is now 2 seconds behind Smokey at Ramy Fernie. And did Sherry pit for dries? Because Sherry's pulled away from Mike and caught onto the rear of Ramy Fernie. I'm just putting that out there.
You can't tell on this game. If it was like F1 or Gran Turismo, you'd know what tyres people are on because they change the colour of the sidewalls a bit. I've got a feeling that is on... fresh set of wets maybe? Got more tread pattern? Dan's closed by 0.3 of a second to Alex, probably when Alex launched over the curb in Vale.
I'm going to put the driver of the day up because the top 4 of my drivers have had really good races, especially one who's on debut. I know his race 2 wasn't great. Globe Writer to the outside of P. Williams, though. He's gone onto the curb and gone a little wide.
And he loads up YouTube on my phone now. See, Bob is the driver of the day.
Mike not able to make inroads on Remy Fernie here, and he needs to get past. Okay, so Sherry is on the wets. Did he change for a fresh set of wets, maybe?
I reckon so, because if you're wearing the tread pattern out...
Oh, Mike very twitchy through Abbey. Just can't catch that gap to Remy Fernie. Clouding on for a podium. This could be a huge result.
It could be, yeah.
Sully's 9 seconds ahead of Andrew Taylor, who's just plodding along at the moment.
Just getting the results, isn't he?
Yeah.
Without his
I tell you what, Mike, with Remy Fernie under pressure from Sherry, even though Sherry's a back marker, Mike's not making inroads. He's round. Mike's round.
Oh,
Gary's through. Where's Sky? Sky's coming. Graham's dropped right off the back of Sky. Is Mike away? He is. Is this Ferrari just dropping off?
It could possibly be.
Because Simon Blair, who was up there at the start of the race, he's got damage. So I'm wondering if his car's had moments. Graham looks like he's had moments. He's no longer with Tibbs. And Burra Bex is all of a sudden looking on the back of Simon Blair. He's 1.9. Is this Ferrari dying?
It could be. It doesn't look happy. Has his tyres ballooned? That is the question.
Has his tyres ballooned? Has his tyres just gone? So at the minute, Dan Davis for third, second place is 50 points. Mike Matthews for sixth.
Oh, he's gone again.
He's 33. Mike's gone again. And he's deep off. Tibbs has gone past him. Where's Graham? Graham's coming past. No, he's not. Graham did not get ahead of Mike. So Mike now will be scoring 30 points. Dan will be scoring 50. That's a 20-point swing. Although it's going to get worse because now Graham's going to get past Mike. They go side by side, down on the hanger straight. Whatever has happened to Mike's Ferrari, whether it's tyres or not, should he have maybe changed tyres? Is that the big problem?
Maybe. I'm now going to be, look.
Well, Graham did not get past Mike there. What has happened to Mike? He has just absolutely imploded.
He's got
I've
got.
Well, he's going to lose out to Graham. He's lost out to Graham.
Gone.
I reckon one of Mike's tyres is done. I mean, how we've probably not had a punchy yet is baffling me.
I've now found it. His rear left is red.
Yeah. Could we see a puncher? Has he gone again? No, he just dropped back all of a sudden.
It's only 30 psi though, so...
Yeah, but it's the wear on the tyre, isn't it? It doesn't matter about the PSI, it's the wear of the tyre.
And it's done a whole stint.
You know. Look at Dan. Dan's lost out another second there, enough to Alex over the last couple of laps. So, another big snap for Mike Matthews there. Not the race he needed. Not the race he needed. At all.
To refer to a previous pro commentary team, he's had a few peaceful pirouettes.
He has had a few peaceful pirouettes. Well, Mike losing out. Globewriter's lost massively out to P. Williams as well. It's all a bit spread out with the last 5 minutes of the race. It is Alex Power with the fastest lap and P1 at the minute. 15.5 clear of Dan. I mean, doesn't look massively happy in his Lamborghini, but, you know, he's just keeping it there. Then it's Clouden. Then it is Remy Fernie, Gary Leach, Sky Schundelmeyer, Graham, with Mike Matthews on the back of him. It is the 3 Ferraris out of 4. 7th, 8th and 9th, and none of them look massively happy. Then it's Burra Bex, D. Bourchier, P. Williams, Globewriter, Paolo, Sully, Jay Ward, Andrew Taylor, Sherry, Luke Damon still in the pits. That is a retirement. And we lost Fiore earlier in the race due to health problems.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's been quite a quiet pro.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get many tickets coming again this week. I think Pro's been a good one again.
I think we might get a few.
There'll be a couple, but I can't see many.
No, but it'll be a few. You know, like people want clarity on something, and
what a night! What a night's worth of racing it's been.
Sully's got in front of Ward. We've missed that.
He has.
Sully's got in front of Ward.
He has. He has. So what has happened there? And he stayed actually within that 2.2 with Paolo. So even though he's heavily damaged, he's still got good pace in that car. Andrew Taylor's not far behind. Globe Rider within 1.9. But look at this fight between the three Ferraris. But again, Ward's lost out to Sully. Ferrari. Now Graham's had a moment through Brooklands, and Mike's looking around the outside at Luffield. All these Ferraris just imploding here. Mike's on the outside. Simon Blair may fancy a bit of this. No, Graham hangs on.
I hope they're not imploding, because when we get the Nordschleife, Ferrari won at the Nürburgring last year from the Nürburgring 24 hours.
That's with changing tyres. Oh, Graham's gone! All on his own! Graham's lost the rear!
Oh.
Much Nuts has got it. Simon Blair's got past Mike. So Mike's not even gained a place. And Graham's gone around. Globe Rider on the back of P. Williams. No, he's not. He's ahead of P. Williams. Sully's now on the back of Paolo as well. He's past Paolo.
He's past him.
All these Ferraris, PN, imploding.
Possibly. Glad I didn't choose them now. Glad I stuck with a Bentley.
But I believe Burrow-Becks and Bourchier got ahead of Graham as well. To Graham, yeah, they have. Graham drops down to 11th. So Simon Blair's now got to try and defend from Mike for 2 minutes 30.
Hectic.
These Ferraris have just gone off a cliff. Dan, oh, Mike! Whoa. Held on to that a bit there. We're watching a drift session from the Ferraris, and not a very successful one.
If it was drifting, we'll get Joe out there. He loves a bit of drifting.
I think these Ferraris have gone. I think they've done.
I think they've done their tyres. Maybe they should have changed. And I don't think even Solos didn't wet.
And even if you didn't go the slick tyre, I think putting a fresh shed of wets on halfway through the race may have been the way to go here. Don't forget, if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We'll be back live next week, 8 PM GMT, for rounds 13 and 14, week 7 of the Pro-Am and Pro Action. Bourchier in the background's gone round. He's in the wall. Graham should get him. No, neither can I. He's coming back now. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, look,
yeah,
it's not
that's crabbing.
Straight.
That is crabbing. Dan Davis will be bringing you the Pro-Am action next week live from Monza night race. And then me and PM Motorsport will be back as well next week from Monza in the Pros commentary box as we head into that final stages of the season. Bourchier, he's pitting. He's probably not going to take the checkered flag, but you can see why.
Yeah, that's a very second-hand McLaren. It's up for sale. Never been raced or rallied. Well rallied.
Alex Powell
off the road end.
Is coming through form.
This might be the last lap. He's got time to back off, to be honest.
I don't think he's got 34. I'm saying that, yeah. This might be the last lap, actually. It depends on how Alex is feeling. Does he want to give Bourchier the extra lap? Does he want to give people a chance to unlap themselves from Bourchier, i.e. Siri? 20 seconds left. No, this could be the last lap of the race, you know. Well, Alex Powell, he's through Brooklands now. He's into Luffield. Will this be the last lap of the race? We're about to find out. Either way, Alex has took a great race win. This will be the last lap of the race. Alex Powell, he's not going to get to the line. He's going to become a two-time race winner here at SimPlay Motorsport. A two-time race winner this season. Alex Powell, the win and the fastest lap. He does it in great fashion there. Dan Davis looked a bit slow through Brooklands. Just get her home, Dan. Whoa, get her home! He's flashed the lights! He's flashed too early! He's gone around!
Here comes Clouden!
Oh, Clouden's coming! He's nearly collected him! Clouden's going to take P2! Jamal Clouden is going to come home for P2! Dan Davies flashed the lights too early! Clouden second, Dan third, Ramy Fernie will hang on for a P4. I say hang on, that's Sheary who's a lap down. Oh, Dan Davis. Gary Leach will hang in for P5, or is this to come home? Sky Schundelmeyer will take 6th place.
Photo finish between Gary and
Gary loves
Sky.
a photo finish. Simon Blair will take P7, managed to hang on in there from Mike. Well, that'll do Mike a favour. Dan lost 5 points.
And we've had a laugh about it.
Oh, he's going to love that on the interview. Simon Blair, then Mike Matthews. Borough Becks, not a bad night for Borough Becks. P9 for him in the end. It's going to be P10 for Graham. Probably what could have been, really, I suppose, in this race. What could have been. Bourchier will actually hang on to 17th place as well, can we just say. Globewriter, P11. Great result for Globewriter.
Williams,
so he
P12.
crosses the line. Yeah, Williams P12, another solid result. Sully, good comeback for P13 with all that damage. Good comeback from him. Jay Ward, P14. Yeah, and a penalty to his name. Andrew Taylor got Paolo at the end. So Andrew Taylor will be P15. Paolo P16. Bourchier will finish. Is he moving? He is. He's actually out on the track. So that's great to see. Sheary, though, will be 18th place. And Bourchier, we are just waiting to cross the line, will be in 17th. It is points to his name then. So, right, we go to the championship. We can confirm McLaren or your manufacturer's winners. So McLaren have won it for a second time now, I do believe, Pian. I believe they won it the first time we brought the manufacturer's championship into play here.
And third time now.
Is it? We've only done 3, I believe. We didn't do it for season 1 of ACC.
No.
So this is the second.
Bentley won at once.
Yeah, so McLaren's second win.
Yeah, and Bentley won the middle.
Thank you. Mike Matthews is no longer the leader because I haven't done the Drivers' Championship yet on this one, so bear with me. As Bourchier comes to the line, and across the line he goes. It is Dan Davis who leads the championship, 11 points clear of Mike. So Dan was 11 behind. He's now 11 in front. Then it is Joe, who is tied with Alex Powell. Joe obviously had to pull out of tonight's race too. Alex Powell P4, Gary Leach P5, so he drops another place to Alex. He's gone ahead of Overtake, though, who drops down to P6. Sky Schundelmeyer is tied with Clouden in 7th place after Clouden's great overtake on Dan Davis at the very end. Ramy Fernie P9 with Graham 10th. Luke drops to 11th and will have to serve a qualifying ban for that retirement next week unless he can say otherwise to the steward. Simon Blair moves up to 12th for Paolo 13th. Nash drops down to 14th with Siri P15. S2M Borough Becks up to 16th. Clobble 17th. Sam P18. Darren Yo De Hoffner 19th and 20th. Andrew Taylor his 21st with Jay Ward. Excuse me. Jay Ward P22. Losser P23 with Williams, Cutius, DeFizz. Dennis Newman, Graham Sutcliffe, Globewriter, Sully, Tarkowski, Bourchier, Dan Brave, Shaggy, Tech Leader Costa, and Mr. Marshall. Also, Mr. Marshall cannot win the Drivers' Championship. He's the first driver eliminated from that championship. So we're at this stage of the season now, PN, where drivers are starting to be taken out of the equation. SimPlay Racing, though, 264 points clear off BTC Jaeger. BTC maybe just clawing a few points back as Mike had a bit of a shocking race too. Haggis Munchers, though, P3. They have dropped now to 135 points behind BTC Jaeger. So they are way behind at the moment. I got my maths wrong in race 1. Team FBR 394. Rottinger All Stars P5. Red Rum P6, Button Basher P7, Greasy Bandit P8 on the back of Button Basher Racing with BDM Stage 2 P9, BDM P10, Effect Motorsport 11th, JB Racing P12, 2 Oldhams and Audi Sport. Alex Powell, second race winner of the season, and we get to speak to the second place man, Dan Davis.
Third.
Yeah. Third. I apologise. Dan, let's first of all, how bad was your tyres?
It was just a matter of time until I was going to go around. It was. You boys said last night that you wanted the pros to have it difficult. That is never. I've never concentrated so hard on a race and just being on my own. That was really hard. That was mental.
That looked hard.
Oh, don't, like, every lap there was a moment. I'm just one of the lucky ones that didn't go round until the very end. But yeah, I was more celebrating the fact that I'm outscored Mike again, so that's not the fact that I got second. I mean, I kind of have I have a suspicion why Alex did so well today, but yeah, I mean that was hard. Damp conditions are the worst, and look at it now; it's dry. Typical.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. It was tricky though for you. I will admit, it was Dan stream who I was watching on my phone. Without naming names, I didn't say PSIs, but your tyres on the rear was just scorching red. It just looked so hot.
Oh, the rear left was dead. Every time you went through Cops or through Abbey, it was just, they're on fire. The start of the race was fine. I took the approach of letting the two in front battle it out and try and conserve my tyres, because I knew it was just going to be who looked after their tyres. But I do think the Aston Martin had an advantage in this conditions, being that it was front-engined and not mid or rear. So I think it was nicer to the rear tyres than the rest of us, because Mike was having issues, Gary's was having issues, I was having issues, and it always seemed to be the mid-engine cars. Alex was just pulling away like he was nothing. It was just mental.
Yeah.
But I mean, hats off to the guy, and I'm now actually having to look behind to see where he is in the championship, because he is slowly creeping up on us. I mean, it's going to take a miracle, but anything can happen. And if we get a full grid again,
101
and we have one bad round,
101 behind with 452 to play for, like you say, it's still doable. It's still really doable.
How many points behind?
101.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's. I think I've got the edge on Mike for the rest of the season. We're going to circuits that everyone knows: Monza, Spa. But the last two, Suzuka and Kyalami, are, as my name says, unorthodox circuits. So they're circuits that I tend to go quite good at and quite comfortable at. So yeah, seriously, that was one of the hardest races to just concentrate and focus on driving. I mean, that was just mental. But
we spoke after race one, and you were saying how difficult the conditions was. Then it went from damp, it got wetter, which obviously favoured the wet tyres a little better. To that race too, obviously, I don't think we've had a race like that on ACC where you're debating a tyre change to maybe go onto the wets, even if not put the slicks on. Was that even an option for you tonight?
No. So I already pre-opted went out in damp conditions in the wets, and I did a 211 straight away. The slicks weren't even an option. It was purely make the wets work, but try not to overheat them. You probably saw at the start of the race, or even the formation lap, none of us were warming our tyres up.
Yeah.
We were all tiptoeing around, saving the pressure, saving the tyres. So by the end of it, all of us are still searching for water.
I was going to say, early on in the race, you could just see on the straights, everybody starting to move offline. Was it drying for slicks, do you think, by the end?
No. There was no showing of drying. There was no nothing. Think of it like 2012. Was it 2012 or 2020 in Formula One at Istanbul Park, where they ran the Inters to slicks. That's what it felt like. They weren't quicker at the end. I mean, I was doing 209s, Alex was doing 207s. When the start of the race, we were all doing 205s, 206s. Just, the pace for everyone just started going away, and it was just, again, who stayed on track and who survived, really.
11 points clear of your teammate. We head to our night race. We love a night race at SimPlay. We're back at night races at Monza. Mike's just posted the weather. I'm not going to give anything away yet. I think we should leave it for the chat, for the channel to see next week at Pro-Am what it's going to be like. Monza, though, night race. What do you think you can do around it? You have 11 points over your teammate. What can you do?
I think I got the overall pace on Mike, so all I have to do is just either out-qualify him, just stay out of the trouble and just keep scoring points. Colin Turkington style, Tom Ingram style, just be a pointsy season now from the rest until the end. Keep an eye on Alex just in case he starts going on a winning streak here, but I've got a shout out to the new boy as well. He was very, very good last minute sign in, and he was very quick. Seemed a little bit sketchy in the damp, but nonetheless he was clean and fair. But Monza, night race, and if the weather is what I think it is going to be, I don't mind that conditions. I like those conditions very, very much. And at night as well, it's going to be, it's going to be very, very interesting. It's game on between me and Mike, and I think he's starting to crack under the pressure.
one final question. Back of the grid you'll be. The only driver will be Mr. Marshall, as a new driver who's not started a race yet. He'll be the only driver behind you. That's not the worst place to be at Monza Turn 1, is it?
You know what? Unless you're on pole, I don't think anywhere is a safe place. Whether you're back, mid, or mid front, there's nowhere is safe. Especially at Monza as well. At chicane, there is options to go straight on if need be, but I don't really want to do that. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes at Monza. It's the first chicane, and then into the Curva Grande, and see what happens. You know, it's just Monza. There's always chaos at Monza.
There always is. Thanks, Dan. Congratulations tonight, and we'll see you next time. Sully won the driver of the day by the fans' vote. Pien, final thoughts and your driver of the day.
Can I have a tie driver of the day? Drivers of the day.
Yeah, sure.
I know drivers don't get a say, but I want to big up Alex tonight. That was a fantastic drive from him, and top job tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Alex and Sully anyway, so Sully for his debut win, debut pole, debut fastest lap.
Yeah.
And Alex for just being solid.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. Do you know what, Pien? I'm going to go with you, Alex and Sully. Alex and Sully actually tied in the chat as well, 36% each to Dan's 27 to Mike's on. Move of the season, Jamal Clouden. At the end, brilliant manoeuvre. I don't think we'll see anything like it again this season. That is all we have time for. Fantastic pro racing once again here at Silverstone. We're into that back half of the season. Championship well into the final stages, and it is the SimPlay Racing boys you see on your screens who are in that fight. Who can do it? Let's wait and see. But we'll be back live next Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. GMT. Now I'm going to have to change this, and I believe it's for Spa. It'll become BST. But next week will be the final 8 p.m. GMT for us here in the UK before the clocks go forward. No, it is because it's next weekend. I think it's James's birthday weekend, Jamie's birthday weekend, which is next weekend.
I think they changed it because it's Easter.
Yeah, it's Easter weekend. Or is it? No, is it this weekend? It could.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend because they might have brought it forward.
For you then, chat. A quick Google. Yeah, Sunday 31st. So we're fine. Yeah. So next week, 8 p.m. GMT for Monza night race Pro-Am, 8 p.m. GMT. Dan Davis will be bringing you the Pro-Am action live there. I myself will be bringing you me and Pien will be bringing you the action on Pro Thursday night, 8 p.m. GMT. Once again, night race at Monza. You're not going to want to miss next week, let me tell you that one. If you haven't already, do hit the thumbs up button. Really helps the channel out, as well as the bell to be notified, and subscribe if you are new, as well as check out the links to our sponsors, Audio Sport, Design Manchester and Bozzy Designs, in the description below. What a race, what a season. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Good night.
What a season. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. We're clear. You'll spin at the end.
Honestly, mate, that was fucking hard.
Mate, I had your stream and I just kept seeing your car twitch. Did Mike just die at the end?
He had one moment, and when he had that one moment, that was it. His tyres were gone.
Because all Ferraris seem to have one moment, and then that were
it. Mate, it was everyone. Gary was having moments. I was having moments, you know. I don't think any car... I think the only ones that looked stable enough was anything that was front engined, and I think that's what saved them. Thank you to everybody who was watching my stream, Smithy and everyone in the chat, DJ Phil on YouTube. It was an interesting race, Silverstone. I never want to race in damp conditions again, because that was hell on earth. We go to Monza, and to anyone who is watching and is interested to know what the weather conditions are for Monza, it's raining.
It's going to be wet
at night, so with Xbox lights that we can't see. So yeah, should be fun, should be interesting, and we've got a back ahead of Mike, and he ain't gonna take this championship from me. I'm never gonna let him have a pro championship. We shall see you all either on the weekend, or I will see you all on the next one. So catch you later. Night.
I just joined the server, it's flooded.
Oh shit, I got 9 months in there, but I forgot to change my mic back to my other one, so you didn't even hear me. Bollocks.
Oh yeah, it's flooded. Mike started the other party.
Those, honestly, lads, like...
Mate, that looked the hardest I've ever seen ACC look.
Mate, I don't care about it. We said greasy was hard. That was fucking.
Yeah, no, that looks the hardest I've ever seen ACC.
Like I said, I've never concentrated so hard.
Yeah.
It was fucking mental.
Mate, I've got Jay sending pictures on Discord. Like Tibbs's looked like rugby balls for tyres. You know,
Mate,
everybody's was red. Someone's rid 38s.
This is what I meant when I was in the qualifying session. I wasn't trying to get fastest lap. I was trying to figure out where the pressures would be, if it would stamp. And I managed to knock them all the way down. I managed to stick them right at the 30-31 range. But they were on fire. Like that rear left
Could you not have opened your brake doors?
Mate, they were open.
Oh, shit.
But you'd lose braking performance.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem, though, isn't it? Why have we been disconnected from the servers? Might reset it again. Fine.
Yeah, he's reset it.